clobbering time! It's clobbering time! Clobberanimo!
Oh, Clobberanimo indeed. Welcome, my dear friends, to Saturday Night Star Trek number 118. We indeed.
Clobberanimo!
I love that. I love it. I never get enough of that. It's Clobbering Times number 573 on YouTube, number 1,273 over all of 14 years of doing this silliness. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us again for some Star Trek review fun. Oh, eventually we get to Star Trek reviews, but we got to do a lot of other business first, of course. And the most important business, of course, is for me to say hello to the most wonderful first officer in the fleet, the wonderful, the amazing Commander R.M. Briggs. I love you, and please, hey, take the floor and any opening words you may have, my dear.
Well, first of all, I love you with all my heart. You're my best friend in the whole world. Thank you so much for making this community, making this channel, and giving us an opportunity to all of us Trekkies to just to come here and just talk Trek. I mean, it's such a privilege. It is such an honor, and I love you so much. I'd like to say hail to the chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. I'm so excited to hear your reviews. I am so excited to hear your grades. All of you are such great conversationalists. You make this show what it is by just being your amazing selves. So really looking forward to that. I'd like to say hail to all of the wrenches with a special note to everyone. Please reach out to Eric K and wish him a little love. Don't pry. And don't ask, too many questions or, press him for private information. But he could use a bit of love. And by the way of notes, hugs, get a hold of him on Twitter or on his socials, and just let him know that you care. I'd also like to thank all of my Patreon subs. That's right, folks. I'm writing another book. I'm 3 stories into another 10-story collection, and 16 amazing people have stepped forward to back my new book, and it's really incredible. So I want to thank Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K. and Kirby, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C, Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, Dadman Clan, and of course, Lord Thoth and Lady Thoth. So I just want to say thank you for that. It means a lot to me. And you are making a lot of public appearances possible, and you're making my book possible. And I think you're just the best. And with that, I'm going to be quiet and give the comm back to the boss. Captain, my captain, let's get it on.
Hey. Yep. I'm so happy here. So happy you're all here with us this evening. It is just great to see you. Man, what a great group we always have on Saturday nights. Always excited to be here. Highlight of my week, hanging with my most wonderful friend, the greatest first officer in the fleet, and then hanging out with all of you great Trekkers and Trekkies and Trekkoids and all the other Trekkie clobberers and clobberanimals and let's see here. Let me see. Before we do our shout outs, let's do some quick show notes, shall we? Sorry, where are we at? I got distracted for a second writing some stuff down. If you'll indulge me, my friends.
Rob Altus just said he bought my book. That's amazing.
Hey, Rob.
Thank you so much, Rob. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Thank you, Rob. Okay, well, let's see. Some show notes. I keep saying that, and I keep getting distracted. I have to do stuff, write stuff down. I'm writing them. I like to get everybody's name, that pops in.
What? Because Dee Myers Jr. is here. Dee Myers!
Well, we can do that on the shout-outs.
I know, but that's just crazy. That's so good to see him here.
Yes, well, it is.
Well, we're going to have the whole family here. That's terrific.
Yeah, well, excellent. I mean,
this is what happens when you raise your children right. They also become Trekkies. So that I did not know that Dee Meyer's son also likes Star Trek. This is terrific.
Yeah, well, excellent. I thought that was just Dee himself, and then maybe he's a junior. I don't know. But who knows, right? We'll find out. Well, we almost should do the shout outs first, really, since we started them. But now we'll do a quick show notes, and then we'll get that out of the way. First, tomorrow night on the great Mark D with the C's channel, there will be the usual Sunday night geekery, and we hope you all join for that. That's at 10. Hopefully, you'll join us. It'll be 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, Eastern. Sorry, not Central. 10 Eastern. Sorry. What else we got? And then Monday night, I will have be a guest on the great J-Man show. Our good buddy J-Man, our pal and wrench, of course, extraordinaire and friend of the show. Will be over there with him with our Legion of Superheroes review, our newest one of that. And then Monday night, a little bit after that, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Mark C. Comics Talk, the great Jason Sandberg will be joining me to talk about this new comic, Jupiter, that we've been talking about the past couple of weeks. And a big announcement here, a week from this Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. I am honored to bring you as a guest the great Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic, who will be joining me to talk comic shop memories and comics in general and other geek stuff, I'm sure. So I cannot wait for that. Gary's an extraordinary dude, just a good friend of the show and a good friend to all of us out there, and very, very, very honored to have him on. So,
hey, you're an extraordinary dude, too.
No,
as far as I'm concerned, this is going to be like two Titans talking comics, and I think the crowd is going to go wild. I think that is going to be a terrific night for all comic book fans. So everyone, get that date. Write that date down. Hit the notification bell. Hit sub, and make sure you have your bums in the seats for that one.
Well, cannot wait. Looking forward to it, everybody. And now, I suppose now we can do our shout outs. What we like to do is, of course, as always, we shout out our amazing wrenches because, well, they do so much for us. Well, no one ever made that joke before. Let's see.
Never
That's
gets
totally
old.
new one there.
Never
Does
gets
to me.
old.
Does to me. No.
Sorry.
The great Eric K, as mentioned earlier, our wonderful bronze wrencher dude. If you're out there, if you happen to be, I don't know if you're lurking or out there or whatever, but we miss you and we
Under the
hope
weather.
you're doing well.
Love you.
Feel better, buddy. We
Yep.
miss you, man. The great Chris Persia, the Vindicator Wrench of the North. Extraordinary. What a chap. We really appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you for the beautiful show poster. Thank you
Yes,
for being
indeed.
here.
Yes,
We
yes.
love you, Chris.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Where we at? Oh, that D Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. Appreciate
Resident
you, buddy.
mathematician.
Yeah, oh, that too. Yeah, he is that.
Mhm.
Of course, the chief of security, the great Lord Thoth, god of wrenches. And of course, shout out to his wonderful better half, Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, buddy, and hope that little puppy's doing well.
Lance.
We have, of course, my partner in crime on Earth, B, and fellow Legionnaire reviewer extraordinaire, and Wrench Without Fear, the great J-Man. Whether they're here or not, the wrenches get the shout out, folks. Then we're going to do shout out everyone in the chat. Hungry Boy, Master of the Claboni, a comic artist supreme and a painter of the cover of Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs.
Genius artist. Genius artist.
Kal-El, Super Wrench Supreme.
Real soup.
Yes, real soup and deedishness. Maddie's daddy, real to the French Mjolnir, Thor in Vegas.
Thor in Vegas.
And of course, Fancy Outsidey, that old rascal, Wrenchel.
Fancy!
The rascal, Wrenchy, rascally Wrenchy. All right, let's see whom else we have. Let's see whom else we have up in yo. All right, folks. So first, before I do that, I will shout out anyone who happens to be lurking. If you're just a lurker, we thank you. We really appreciate you so much. We're honored to have you here. Thanks. And I hope you're having a wonderful night. Let's see. And of course, if you're watching this later on a download or a rewatch, thank you. Again, cannot thank you enough. We're really honored to have you here. Let's see. So who else is here up in here tonight?
Keely Chow, you're cruising for a bruising.
We're getting well. Let me get the shout outs done. Yeah. Glad someone's what? I just
Nothing. Ignore
let's
Keely
start with
Chow.
shout-outs. I can't ignore Keely Chow. I like him, even if his tie didn't roll this year.
Oh, so funny.
Let's see here. Who else is here? All right, so FKHC 2005 is here.
Good evening.
Good. Thank you, buddy. And I know what that stands for. Don't worry. I know. SC Barnabas. I don't know if we've met before as ST Barnabas, but thank you for being here. And everyone, I tried to write these names as fast as I could, so I hope I did not miss anyone. Oh, a wonderful communications officer's here, the anti-derivative Jill. Hey, Jill.
Good evening, Jill.
There. Let's see here. Bush Pan Down. Hey.
Bush Pan Down.
Joseph Dredd. I love that name, Judge Dredd. Excellent.
Evening.
Das Wolfen's here.
Das Wolfen.
Yeah. King Dolphin TV is here, as in Raymond Feliciano.
King Dolphin TV.
In color. Let's see here. Simply Steve. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Steve.
Indeed, Wolfie's here. He has surprises for us tonight. He always brings the fun stuff. Snail Messiah, my friend.
The Mighty Mollusk.
Indeed. Classic Comics is here.
Evening,
Hey, Classic.
Cece.
What's up, CC? Good to see you. Let's see here. The lovely Sherry. Hello, beautiful girl. Always great to see you, my dear.
Sweetheart, nice to see you.
It's always so good to see Sherry. Hey, the great enigmatic Drop Bear.
ED,
Nice to
the
see you.
erudite bear.
EDB.
Watch that handle for some of the best reviews of Star Trek. Just
Indeed.
wonderful, wonderful reviews. Looking forward to hearing what Edie has to say about the
right.
episodes this evening.
EDB, good to see you, buddy. Blunt Philly Reviews. Hey there, welcome.
Evening.
SP4H. Hey, good to see you. Thank
Evening.
you. Brian Hepburn, my friend. Hey. You know who else is here?
Hi, Brian. No,
Apollome's Minion and the Pepperoni.
The pepperoni.
Sorry. That didn't quite work out all that well, but hello.
No.
Apollomy and Puppy and the puppy. Let's see here. Who else is up in here tonight? Somebody's here. No, nobody's there. Just kidding. A lot of people here. I just had to get this straight. Here we go. All right. Khalil. Oh, I already got you, Khalil. I already got you, buddy. Sorry. Sandra Feliciano.
More King Dolphin TV after these messages.
Indeed. Captain James G. Skywalker. Oh my goodness, our wonderful friend, the amazing Princess Fiona. Hello, Princess.
Her Royal Highness is here, everyone. I demand a curtsy. No, I'm kidding. Princess Fiona, nice to see you, sweetheart.
And another lovely lady is here, Lisa.
Lisa! I love you.
All righty. Good to see you.
What's cooking? Good looking.
Indeed. Jonathan Rudy Rupus is here.
Rudy?
John. Hey, John. The great James T. Kerr is here.
J.T. Cook!
Hey, the chief engineer just popped in. What's up, Mark D with a seal?
Mark D with a C.
Rob Altus, so good to see you, my friend.
Okay, Rob has a migraine, so he is likely not going to be participating in the live chat tonight, but he is here. He said hello to everyone. He told me about purchasing my book. Rob Altus is a very good friend and a fellow prisoner, a fanatic. So, Rob, please make sure that you take care of yourself. I'm sending you a little hug. Please get a cold cloth for your head. It helps. I know it's not a cure, but it helps.
Yeah, that'll work. Good good to see you there, buddy. I hope you feel better. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of the Samba Beach. And he plays the maracas. He calls and Leslie. Thank you, by the way. Chicky boom. Love you guys. Love you back there, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Scuba Pete. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, does everyone know that not only does Scuba Pete do that Chasing 80s Toys, where he's like, this merchandise genius, but he and his wife, his beautiful wife, Leslie, I love this couple. They've been such good friends to me. They're doing their own YouTube channel on traveling and eating and going out and like when they go antiquing and stuff. So really super cool. So watch that space because Scuba Pete's doing some really fun stuff. He and his wife are a riot. They're the coolest people. So watch that space, folks.
Yes, please. And if anyone knows his link to his channel, please put it in there. I appreciate that. Because we love the scubas big time. Thank you for that again, buddy. Let's see here. Dee Myers, Junior, Senior, all the Dee Myers clan.
Dee Myers.
Shout out to you. It is always good to see you out there. So sorry, it was where am I? Lost my place for a minute. Everyone, sorry. Where we at? Okay. Victor Fontaine, hey there.
Vic.
Good to see you, my friend. Vic. He's Vic. The great Keely Chow. Roll Tide. Keely. I have your name down. I wouldn't forget you, buddy. I have your name written down farther down. That's all.
Great teasing comments. Keely Chow. I love him.
Oh, I'm gonna get him. I know where Keely Chow lives. I know.
I love that man. He's funny.
We love Keely. Thank you. I'm always good to see you there, brother. Roll Tide, nonetheless. And Penny popped on. Penny, it's lovely to see you. Thank you for popping in. I don't know if we've ever seen Penny in here before, but
good evening,
welcome.
Penny.
Welcome. To
yeah, and it's so nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Holy flock nuts. I'll garble that. But I like the name. Look, that's not against the name. It's hilarious. Holy flock nuts. But
Yep. But
holy
it's a
nut
tongue
fudge.
twister that could get you in an
It's
awful lot
nut
of
fudge.
trouble.
But I like it. I like it. It's fun. Yeah. DJ Ronnie G.
DJ Ronnie G.
Good to see you there. Double C. Hey there.
Evening, Double C.
And the Tetrarch of Apathy's here. Hey, buddy.
Good evening.
X is here. Just the one letter. X. Well, welcome, X. See you.
So mysterious.
Yeah, I like nut fudge. Or nut flutch even. There you go. It's a tongue twister, Mr. Angel. What's up, Chef?
Evening, Chef.
Linrod. Hey.
Hello, Lenrod.
And Mighty Orbots is here.
Ooh.
Now, that's all I have right now, folks. We always like to shout anyone out accordingly that pops in. Of course, Jonah Hex. Hey, Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex.
All right. One of my favorite DC characters. Love that man. And I thank you for popping in, Jonah Hex. It's good to see you. Driving? Well, both hands on the steering wheel, sir. I hope you were doing well and being safe out there on the road, and I'm glad and honored to have you listening. Let's see here. Where are we at? Okay. So, I guess since they went to all that trouble to make these episodes, we should go ahead and review them, right?
Well, they didn't go to that much trouble, but
I don't think they did.
That's foreshadowing.
It just depends, right? Yeah. Okay. So what we do here, folks, is pretty simple. We go, but we refer to a certain text, although we don't get the synopsis from there. But there is a text that you can refer to if you're watching Deep Space Nine that has very good information. That's a very comprehensive book that's sort of our reference in a sense. That is, of course, the Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. But what we do here is simple. We've been doing it since the January of 2021, reviewing all of Star Trek. That is legitimate, real Star Trek from 2000. Excuse me. Yeah, right. 1966 through 2005. We started in order naturally and reviewing the original series, then the animated series, then the original crew films, then the TNG, Star Trek The Next Generation, and of course, and their films. And now we're just nearing the end of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 6. And we do 4 episodes a week usually, though next week, because it's the end of the season, we'll only have 2, and then we'll do a series wrap thingy. Or series review type thing. Season wrap thingy. So, before we move on to next week, the following week, season 7, that's just common sense. So, anyway, I will now turn it over to my first officer. She'll explain a little bit about this text and where she gets her info, and we will start reviewing our 4 individual episodes for this evening, which are The Reckoning, Valiant, Prophet and Lace, times Orphan. So those are your episodes for tonight in that order. Now I will turn it over to number 1. You got it.
Well, we have a request from the chat, and it is Maddie's daddy. I do love Maddie very much, so I have to do it. These are the Steves I know. These are the Steves I know. These are the Steves I know. These are the Steves I know.
Yeah, they love that. The Steves love that.
Little kids in the hall joke, inside joke here at the 735 Club. The boss had a wonderful graphic on the screen that is the official text of this show. The reason being is most of the user-generated content that you're going to find with regard to Star Trek is wrong. I'm sorry. I know it upsets a lot of people and they get in quite a little tangle over it because they find it on Wikipedia or they find it on IMDb or they find it on Memory Alpha and they think it's correct. And it's just simply not. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is the official companion for this particular iteration of Star Trek. If you're looking for information on DS9, look no further than this text written by Terry J. Erdman and his wife, who is a prolific Star Trek author who I trust implicitly with her coverage because she uses original source material. And that is really key here. You have a lot of people writing about Star Trek. There are a lot of memoirs out there. There are a lot of competing stories about what happened here and what happened there. And it's really created a lot of hard feelings because whenever you try and say something about Star Trek, people will say, but no, I read this and no, I read this. So just cut through all that crap. No IMDb, no cesspool filled with filth like a Memory Alpha or Wikipedia. Just go to this wonderful companion and get all you need to know about behind the scenes production. It is very revealing. Sometimes it's very controversial, but it's wonderful. Original source material, vetted, and proper resource. But we can't read it on air. Okay, I know it sucks, but Terry J. Erdman does a summary of each episode that's like 15 full pages, like a full sheet of paper long. 15, okay, like in 10-point font. Don't ask me why it takes him that long to give a summary, but that's what he does. So although this is the primary text, the best text for you to get information about DS9, it's just not conducive to a podcast. And that's what this show is basically, right? It just doesn't work. We can't talk for that long about the episode. So we use Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is user generated and it usually sucks and is wrong, but we just use it for the summary and we correct it right away. This is an entirely organic show. Please keep that in mind, folks. Clobby and I do not discuss the episodes beforehand. We don't do any type of prep. I don't even pre-read the Wikipedia. We both love Star Trek for more than 45 years each, and we bring that to bear. And then we give our grade, and then we put it to the chat, and then the chat comes up with their grades, A, B, C, D, E, F, like in university, and a few words about what they think about the episode. And that's about it. I mean, I think that's the setup. What do you think, boss? Are we ready to go?
That's fine. I think people know enough about that book that they probably won't even want to buy it now, so the price will go down. How you like that? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, everybody. Our first episode of the evening is The Reckoning. Go for it.
The depressing. I know.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, The Reckoning. The Reckoning is season 6, episode 21, production code 545. We all watched this for the very first time on April 27th, 1998. And now, staying copyright compliant, I'm going to reveal that I will be reading what is called the plot from Wikipedia for this particular episode. I have not pre-read it, so it could be a little rough going, especially because it's written very poorly, but we'll get through it. Saddle up, lock and load.
They know what's going on. Most of our friends here have watched it, so they're good.
An archaeological dig on Bajor reveals an ancient tablet in an ancient Bajoran language that addresses the emissary. Sisko brings the tablet to Deep Space Nine for further study, raising the ire of Kai Wynn, who protests not being consulted in advance and resents Sisko's connection with the prophets. Dak's analysis of the tablet reveals an upcoming event called The Reckoning, possibly involving the destruction of the station, and during which Bajor will experience great suffering. Meanwhile, the wormhole begins to behave erratically, causing disturbances on both the station and the planet. Wynn attributes this to Sisko's possession of the tablet and forces him to agree to return it to the planet in the morning. That night, however, Sisko becomes frustrated at the prophets and smashes the tablet, which releases red and blue vapors that dissipate into the station. Kai Wynn is furious, but Sisko states his belief that he is doing the prophet's will. The station begins to experience mysterious power fluctuations. The crew soon discover that Major Kira has become possessed by the blue mist. Ooh. A prophet which is exuding intense power. The prophets reveal that it is waiting for the Pa Wraith to battle in the Reckoning. Most of the senior staff strongly recommend flooding the promenade with radiation. I wouldn't exactly say radiation, so that's incorrect. I would say what they say in the show, which is this chronoton particles.
Chronoton particle thingies, which are weird.
We're not going to, it's not, they didn't release Chernobyl or anything on the promenade and wiping out all life. It's not exactly radiation. Right. Anyways, let's keep going. That would force the being to leave Kira, but Sisko refuses. Why would it, how do they know that it would? Anyway, but refuses to interfere with the prophets, and Odo states that he believes Kira is a willing participant. Sisko evacuates the station, but Kai Wynn stays behind to witness the conflict, as Bajoran prophecies indicate that the prophet's victory in the battle will result in a golden age for Bajor. The Paw race appear, having taken over the body of Cisco's son Jake. And the prophets begin to battle, creating a dangerous energy buildup. Cisco orders the last of the crew to evacuate, but refuses to leave his son behind, believing the prophets will not allow him to be killed. With the prophet appearing to have the advantage, but both adversaries showing wounds from the struggle, Wynn executes the command to flood the promenade with radiation. No, she didn't execute any command. She went over to a computer and released the chronoton particles. She didn't give any command, and you can't just say radiation. Interrupting the conflict and forcing both beings to leave for whatever reason. Somehow they're affected by chronoton particles. After her recovery, Kira accuses Wynn of intervening out of jealousy over Cisco's greater faith. And warns that he will have to answer for the consequences of her actions. And that is all the collective internet has to say on Wikipedia about the episode of DS9 entitled The Reckoning. And now I'll turn it over to the boss, Captain, my captain,
boy.
Mon Capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of The Reckoning?
Oh, I have to talk about it now? Oh, good Lord. I don't know. I can't, I don't have a whole lot for this one. I can't, things I don't like automatically going that bias me for this episode would be Bajoran drama crap with Paw Raids and Prophets and Kai Wen 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 and people possessed by things fighting aliens fighting with big blasts coming out of their tummies, and I just find this episode to be a crashing bore. And again, that's all. Not even really angry about it. I just don't find it compelling. But we all know that if I had my druthers, Deep Space Nine would never even be dealing with any of this Bajoran drama crap anyway, with all their mysticism and all of their hokey crap. I really wish the show hadn't gone there. When we get into these episodes with Bajoran, be it the prophets or be it with something to do with the Paw Wraiths or any of that kind of stuff, I get a little sleepy, to be honest. So that's just me. A lot of people like it, and that's fine. So, that's all I got. Go for your notes.
Okay, here are the notes I took while I was watching the show, folks. On a piece of paper with a pencil, I wrote,
yes, which is more
romantic Odo and Kira.
Oh, God, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It starts off with them being very romantic after a board meeting, and Benjamin Luke Picard goes on another archaeological dig back to Valhalla for the Messiah to decipher 30,000-year-old tablet. No one but the Earth emissary can read this tablet. 30,000 years. No one can read it except for him. Kai Wynn and the emissary disagree. Wow, this is a brand new, amazingly fresh script. This is not science fiction. This is a religious battle that involves possession. This is clearly good versus evil, or God versus the devil. This is quite clear here. And this is odd because we have a corporeal show of physical power by wormhole aliens that actually abhor corporeal beings, finding them limited, constantly saying that they are limited and non-linear. So all of this is just becoming a giant bucket of a poop that you can finger paint with. Evil spirits were released from a stone so that the good spirits could defeat them with an energy beam. The energy beams come out of their tummies. Care Bear countdown, stomach stare. But it stopped. And that's the episode.
Dad Man, what's up, buddy?
Dad Man Clan.
Shout out to the Dad Man
Shoot
Clan.
up. Pew, pew, pew.
But, Shooter, we've seen Shooter. Shooter's been here. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, look, nothing happens in this episode other than drama about Kira being possessed by was she possessed by the prophets? I got it backwards now. She was the prophets.
Paw
And,
Wraith.
and the Paw Wraith. Which one was the Paw Wraith again? That was that no, Jake was the good guy, right? He was I don't
No,
even
Jake
care.
was the Paw Wraith,
He was the Paw Wraith, right. I
and
got you.
Kira
I
was
got it
the
backwards. Sorry,
wormhole
everyone.
alien.
All right, yeah, so the wormhole alien, the prophet. Got it backwards. Sorry, folks. That's how much I cared. I'm watching this episode. Every time I've watched this episode, and it's been a couple of times, not many, but I just go into shutdown mode. I mean, I don't really. I mean, I try to pay attention. And hello, there's Sander Hammerslag. Hey there, good to
Ooh,
see you. Welcome.
Such a cool name.
I love that name.
Sander Hammerslag.
Great name.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he's like a Viking that hit the beaches of
Beaches.
Canada and conquered. Anyway.
Yeah, love it. So, yeah, I just can't really get into it. I don't really care about any of that stuff. So I'm not even being necessarily fair here because I have never liked any of this Bajoran mysticism stuff. Anonymous, what's up, buddy?
Anonymous.
Always good to see you, my friend. It is an honor to have you pop in, sir, and I hope you are doing well, sir. So yeah, I can't get into this one much. I'm not even going to say. Let's make time of this one. How about that?
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and. What is your rating of The Reckoning?
The rating for The Reckoning is a D. I'm actually shocked that I didn't give it an F, but that evening I had cheese, popcorn, and wine. And if I have cheese, popcorn, and wine, I'm in a good mood. This should have been an F, but I gave it a D. And it really, really sucked.
I go with a D also because an F, you have to really you have to really aggravate me or piss me off to get an F. My rule on Fs, if I just don't think it's particularly any good or interesting and blah, D is about as low as a D for dull is usually. Now, D doesn't mean good at all, but I got to really be cheesed off to give the old F. So, yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, now I will ask our wonderful friends in the chat, and it is so good to see you all here tonight. Please now give forth any rating you may have of the episode Reckoning, no matter what. And for those new or listening or don't know, all opinions are welcome here. You don't have to agree with us. We love you no matter what. And I mean, not everyone agrees here on this show, and that's one of the other things about it. We welcome all opinions, and I will read your review fairly. So please put any ratings you may have in the episode, and any words you might want to express about The Reckoning, and we will get on those as soon as we get some of those starred and ready.
Maddie's daddy would like to say that Clobby has no profit margin. A little pun there. Mark D with the C would like to let you know that from the text, so the vetted text, he says that Thompson and Weddle felt that this story should have been handled very much like a horror movie. And when they told Bear the direction they'd be heading in, and I don't know what he has to say after that. And now the chat has bumped and jumped. So let me get to the business of starring it.
It's got a lot of stars there, so I'll grab them. Then you can catch up. Because I was already in the midst of starting them while you were doing that. So, oops. So start right where.
Okay. Shooter.
At Shooter.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. I wanted to get them because they were piling up there.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so hopefully I didn't make you miss any.
No, it's okay.
All right, so all right, here let's start with our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill, who says D. Bringing in elements of archaeology in relation to the prophets is a nice detail for the overall world building and setting up the history of their influence over Bajor. However, the positive relationship, the prophets are ultimately manipulative and meddling with Bajor and Benjamin on occasion. True that. However, the episodes in which we meander about trying to discover their mysterious riddle-filled directions always become tiresome. A good point, Jill. She also continues, As communication is a larger theme of Star Trek, I find it disappointing that one of the most important aliens can't even project their true intentions effectively. Another salient point there, Jill. Wow. Excellent. Of course, you always do. It's irritating when something as dark as deciding the fate of something not in control is seen as a virtue from Odo and Kira and Cisco to Jake. Wow. Excellent. It might have been interesting to see who would have won, but Wynn stops the battle. So what was the point of this episode except to say the prophets and Pa-Wraith are in their own war? Of course, well, excellent. SC Barnabas, our new friend, says F. Just gives that one review. F there. Hey, Sean Carter's here. What's up, Sean?
Sean Carter from Mars.
Good to see you. Welcome, my friend. All right. So thank you, SC Barnabas, for that. Let's see here. You're never late here, buddy. We're just glad to see you. Nobody's ever late. Raymond Feliciano says D-. The magic pixie dust trope. I really hate Karen Wynn. Yeah, me too. Ugh. I mean, Louise Fletcher's a lovely actress, but it's not her fault. She does her job well. It's just can't get into it. JT Kirk says C-. This episode's true title is The Reckoning of Underpants After Many Raspberries. Wow, good title. I knew they left out some letters. I watched 4 episodes of Star Trek Voyager before this, so my grade is a tad bit generous. What are you trying to say here, man? Simply Steve says F for failure. It's a wreck-er thing of an episode. Cisco smashing the tablet to prevent others from possessing it. A wiggling wormhole. Pa-Wraiths. Kira and Odo still forced on viewers. Why? Can't disagree with you there, brother. Cannot say I disagree with you here. All right, let's see what we got next. Kal-El says B+. This episode tackles several subjects and themes simultaneously and does it reasonably well. At the beginning of the episode, I actually found myself agreeing with Wynn no matter what. Hang on, let me get you the next one, buddy. It always takes a second. I apologize. Role Cisco has taken on in the eyes of the Bajorans, it didn't seem right to simply remove an ancient tablet from its site of origin without proper permission. However, as the episode progressed, it became clear that the prophets were testing the faith of all the principal characters involved while uncovering the extent of Kai Wynn's jealousy of Cisco's relationship with the prophets, as well as the true motives behind her actions as a result. The episode, like many for the remainder of the series, is no longer true sci-fi and has crossed over into the realm of science fantasy, culminating with the battle between the Prophet and the Pa-Wraith in a Star Wars-like fashion on the station. Despite this, it was an entertaining enough episode which had lasting repercussions for the characters for the rest of the season and beyond. Thank you so much, my good friend Kal-El. Maddie's daddy says, F, I recon this episode sucks. Okay. Gotcha. I didn't know you were watching these, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Up in hill. Where are we up in hill? The great enigmatic drop bear says D+. This story attempts to shoehorn the central elements of Christian, how do you say it? Eschatology? Eschatology, sorry if I screwed that up, into the Bajoran context. It is not science fiction and is a clumsy piece of drama. Yes, sir. Absolutely. The prophets and Pah-wraiths are non-corporeal and exist in non-linear time, so the entire premise and manifestation of their battle is inconsistent with our understanding of these beings. Yes, indeed. As always, great job there. But the extraordinary enigmatic drop bear. Thank you there. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. DD Myers Jr. says, I thought episode really sucks. Thought the story should never have been televised. I give it a D-. Thank you there, buddy. Classic Comics says, who are you going to call? Wraithbusters. Kadoke? Lisa says, F. That woman, Space Karen, wanted to do the prophet's bidding. Got on her knees, I think, and in the end, she sabotaged it. Oh, well, end of story. And F to me is that I will never watch it ever again. Whoa, I hear you, Lisa. I hear you on FM.
Chef, yeah, Clobby didn't know that was a review, but I noticed right away and I clicked it. So it's a little further down the list, but you were not missed. I would never miss you.
What? Oh,
nothing.
Chef?
Okay.
Let me get Chef right
Chef
now.
had a question. It's okay. I got it all covered.
Okay. Well, Mr. Angel says, no, I don't want to rate it. Chomps down on popcorn. Oh, it's sometimes rumored watching the reckoning will unlock a glorious dumpster fire. This theory has yet to be proven. Thank you, Chef. I hear you. Lord Thoth, the great Lord Thoth says D-. Yeah, I understand. As does Joseph Dredd. He is the judge of this. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Our new friend X says E. Just the letter E. So we'll allow it. That could be a rating. No law says that can't be a rating. The wonderful Miss Princess Fiona says D-. The idea that the Bajoran religion persists after they discover the scientific origins of their gods is not only puzzling, but anti-Roddenberry. Fletcher's acting keeps it from an F. Now, I understand that. I know what you mean. That's something that's always really aggravated me about this show. The problem with Bajor and the Prophets is the canon is a mess. Every episode contradicts the others. It's impossible to take it seriously. Sick of Chosen One crap and Kira Odo yuck. Kira Odo yuck indeed. Ugh. Thank you so much, Fiona. I appreciate that. The Great Wolfie says, D. The Poofret's gas fights other smelly gas men. Open the airlock and vent the promenade into space. That's what I say.
Poofrets instead of prophets.
And Pah-wraiths, yes. The Poofrets. I like it.
It's a gooder.
I like it. Fancy Outsidey says D for dumb. D for dumb. The fact Wynn said the prophets had never spoken to her is hilarious. God don't like you enough to talk to you. You aren't that important, lady. All we need is Clobby to declare something.
But even that's a dumb thing to say. Sorry to interject, but even that's a dumb thing to say because why wouldn't she just have an episode with an orb? It's just so dumb. Anyway.
Yeah. By the way, I don't see is there a second one?
Yeah, there should be. It's way further down though because Fanti writes his live.
Hey, Monsters Maniac Mexico, what's up, buddy? Oh,
yeah.
Let's see. I don't see.
I can go in and confirm that it's there, but I did click both.
I don't see it. Okay, well, I got the one right here.
Yeah.
And I don't see it in the star. Unless I missed it. Let me keep missing it.
That's okay.
No?
It'll take 2 eggs of a puppy's tail. I'll go grab it.
MMM says, and good to see you, Monsters Maniac Mexico, buddy. 1 out of 1 clunker time. All right. Let's go with our good buddy Shooter while you're doing that. Unless you find it. Unless you found it already. Let's see here. Okay, let's start with the obvious religious good versus evil stuff. It isn't great, and as he gives it a C, by the way, and as has previously been stated by so many, that it's not Roddenberry Trek. That said, if you look at it like an alien civil war, where the only way to fight is by possessing a corporeal being that these aliens are fighting to control, then it gets a little better, although not great. It shows these beings aren't gods. Uh, Also, how does DS9 have better resources in the middle of the war, mind you, than a planet who see the exploration of this site as monumental and hugely important? Wait, when did this? When did say this? Okay, he said. Wait, when did say this? He says. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Not as bad as some of the other prophet stories, but still not great. Also, a little slow. An open-ended ending forebodes that we have seen the last of these episodes. Spoiler: it isn't. Yeah, I know.
So everything that we have for Fanti
There we go.
from from
Okay.
that comment forward is starred. Everything.
Alrighty. He said in Ferengi, of course, there's a no profit in it. Gotcha. Good one. He also said, D for dumb. The fact Wynn said the prophets had never spoken to her is hilarious. God don't like you enough to talk. This one we had before. You aren't an important lady. We all need Clobby to declare, and it says one of two, but he never put us. I never saw a second one. So
that second
may
one
have
is
appeared.
the Ferengi comment, and that's all we have from that point
okay.
to this point.
I never saw one that says two.
Yeah.
Sandra Hammerslag said D minus. Thank you. And the great Chris Persia says, D. Unlike the title, there was no reckoning in this episode. It should have been called Future Consequences. What little science there is was moot. They forgot their own timeline. Let's see here. Bajorans settled on Bajor approximately 9,000 years ago, and here they discover a 30,000-year-old temple. How can that ancient language be related to Bajoran? Another good point. And they call him Scuba Pete. He says, D. Bob Dylan, everybody must get stoned. Cisco will stone you when you're walking along the I can't. I'm just going to, everyone hear that song in your thing. I'm going to read it quick because it's not coming. I know the song, but he'll stone you when you're trying to keep your Kywin clone. Emissary must get stoned. You rascally. You got to love Scuba Pete. He's the man. Oh, man. You rock, boy. X says, R.M. Briggs, who has given an excellent, excellent explanations of CRT, said A, B, C, D, and F, or F. So I'm going with a grade of E. That's cool, X. Thank you. Anything you want to do, we're happy with it. And I appreciate you being here. It's good to meet you. Our final review of this episode of the evening, the great chief engineer himself, Mark D with a C, says D minus. I reckon this episode sucks. I mean, this is a man who's very generous usually. I just want to point that out. It doesn't get an F because it actually can get worse than this. Boy, howdy. The story doesn't even bother to elaborate on any of the reasons behind the reckoning. Good point. True that. Thompson and Weddle felt that the story should be handled very much like a horror movie. And when they told Burr the direction they were heading in, he loved it and told them it's Godzilla versus Mothra with a mummy movie opening. I know Godzilla, and this is no Godzilla. No, this is just Stephen Bear's a silly bunch.
I had nieces and nephews that watched something called the Care Bears, and the little Care Bears get together. I had to endure many of these cartoons with my nieces and nephews. These little Care Bears that all have they're like the seven dwarves. They all have they're all in mood, like sneezy, grumpy, dopey, all that. Whenever they want to get rid of something evil, they all get together and they push their little tummies out and they say a Care Bears countdown, and then they do a little song, and then they do this tummy dreamy stare, they call it, although there are no eyes on their stomachs. And then these rainbows of color come out of their stomachs, and it goes on the evil, and it vanquishes the evil. I'm telling you that this was what my nieces and nephews watched. There's no other way to describe it. This was 100% the
You
little
mean Teletubbies?
no, these are Care
Care Bears?
Bears. The little Care Bear show. This was the Care Bear show. Care
They're
Bear
evil.
stare.
Okay, let's get away from this episode, may we please? Good God almighty! All right, you ready to
Yeah, let's just do this crap.
All right, and our next episode, folks, is Valiant. Take it away, number 1.
Valiant is season 6, episode 22. This is prod code 546 for those following in the text. We all watched this for the very first time on May 4th, 1998.
What happened?
And now, from Wikipedia. While en route to the planet Ferenginar in a runabout, Jake Sisko and Nog are attacked by a Dominion vessel, but are rescued by the Federation ship Valiant. Jake and Nog find that the crew are all members of Red Squad, an elite squadron of Starfleet cadets. Red Squad was on Valiant for a training mission when the ship was attacked by Dominion forces, resulting in the loss of the entire commission staff. Before dying, the late captain transferred command to now acting Captain Tim Waters. Waters says the late captain was ordered to seek intelligence on the new Dominion battlecruiser, and the Valiant has continued to pursue that mission under Waters' command, but its damaged warp drive has prevented it from getting close enough to observe the Dominion ship. That's quite the sentence. Nog has the expertise to repair the engine, and Waters appoints him chief engineer, but Jake is seen as an outsider. When Jake talks to Collins, one of the cadets, about her personal life, she breaks down emotionally, and Waters orders Jake not to talk to her further. With Nog's help, the Valiant is able to scan the battleship. Waters informs the crew that their mission has been carried out and they can go home now, but he wants them to attempt to destroy the Dominion vessel using a weak point in its design they believe the scan has revealed. Jake tries to tell them that his father, Benjamin Sisko, is one of the finest battle commanders in Starfleet, would never engage in such a foolhardy attack, but the cadets are won over by Waters' enthusiasm and allure to become heroes. When Jake's attempt to warn Nog and Collins that the mission is too dangerous to succeed, Waters has Jake thrown in the brig. The Valiant attacks the vessel and successfully hits the targeted area, but the ship remains undamaged. The Valiant is assaulted by a battlecruiser, which critically damages the ship and kills much of the remaining crew. Nog, Collins, and Jake leave the Valiant in an escape pod before it explodes. The sole survivors, they are rescued by Jake's father's ship, the Defiant. Nog states that the Valiant was a good ship, a good little ship, no kidding, with a good crew whose only mistake was blindly following Waters' disastrous orders. To Collins' pleas that Waters was a great man, Nog replies, he may have been a hero, he may have been a great man, but in the end, he was a bad captain. And now I'll turn it over to the boss. Boss, please tell me what you thought about kids in space.
Kids in space. Okay. First of all, there are bits and pieces in this episode that I found interesting that were nuggets of an interesting story. But first of all, you have some serious leaps that I can't make to get there. Number one, I'm supposed to think in the midst of a serious, dangerous Dominion war that they would let two kids like this fly out in a runabout all the way to Ferenginar. Are you kidding me? You wouldn't take them in the Defiant or something. So that's ridiculous. Get-go, this is an issue with me sometimes, folks. In some lighthearted, fluffy entertainment, I don't sweat this kind of stuff sometimes. But usually if you're in something relatively serious like Star Trek is supposed to be, if the premise of your story is based on absolutely fallacious things to begin with, I can't get behind the episode as much. I can't suspend as much because how in the hell would Sisko let them go off? Like these two kids, I don't say Nog is not an experienced Starfleet officer. That is, on the face of it, that's already a serious problem. Then you get to this ship. Jill said something. Jill, you're kind of right. I saw what you said in there. Why would Captain Ramirez would not tell this kid, go finish my mission? However, maybe he didn't. Maybe the kid's a delusional shithead who just, is lying and said he just did it because he wants for his own aggrandizement and his own arrogance. There are valuable lessons in the story about a bunch of kids who think they know it all, taking on this mission and stuff like that. I know they're going for a Captain Queeg type of thing here, going with this kind of stuff, but the episode just doesn't sell it for me. It's just too. I just don't think that the entire ship full of these kids. I just don't think this would have followed this. Not all of them anyway. So this episode just reaches too far. It makes some interesting points about kids being put in command when they have no business being in command, that sort of thing. And if this kid is an enigmatic, like a charismatic leader that kind of almost turns it into a cultist situation, and would be one thing, but everybody follows him, not just Jake's the only one. Everyone else is, even Nog falls into it. So I have a lot of problems with the writing of this episode. Now, I will turn it over to you in your notes, my first officer.
Well, I didn't write very many notes for this because I'm just annoyed. We get a bizarre opening scene with Quark being in love with Dax.
Oh, God. Yeah, that scene. Oh, I forgot.
It's a total throwaway scene.
I hate that
It's
scene.
just absurd. Why are Jake and Nog alone in a runabout? Jake and Nog and the kids. Is this really the effing topic? I've been watching this every year since 1998. Why am I doing this? What is the topic? Child soldiers. This is the absurd teen team. This is Lord of the Flies in space. It's not done well. Better in the book. It is absolutely absurd that only Jake, Nog, and Dorian, the girl who objected, survived. So only the objectors survive. This is absolutely stupid. I can't watch children. It's not for me. Like this, it would be like me watching a kid's show. I'm not interested in it. So when I'm forced to watch this schlock, I make sure that I'm folding laundry. I'm doing something else. I may be doing dishes. I could, there's something I'm doing something, but it's just not watching this episode. It's just absolutely absurd. It's stupid writing. It attempts to borrow very heavily from the Lord of the Flies. It fails epically. It has incredulous stretch after incredulous stretch, and it's just some of the crappiest writing.
Terrible writing.
Hello, the AI show.
The AI show. Hello there. And yes, pretty much a little Kane mutiny in there, just a tad. I was referencing that. Yes. So good to see you. Welcome, AI show.
It's a D.
You give it a D. I'm also at a D because of so much failed writing. I'm not saying you couldn't have done an interesting story here, but I'm not that great or anything. But I think you could have written this one far better. But I need a much better reason for Jake and Nog to be out there during the war. By the way, not even just normal times, during the war. So,
yeah, like why are Jake and Nog in a runabout? Why? Why are they in a runabout? And why did we start this whole thing with the whole, Quark's in love with Jadzia, and just how animated Odo's face is, and all of a sudden this very stoic Odo, now that he's with Kira, he's a busybody like Jadzia Dax, and the love boat, and then we join the kids. There is a massive war going on. The kids are in a runabout. They're going to Ferenginar and they're fighting because they're children. And then they get on a ship with some other children. And then we play out an insanely cheesy version of The Lord of the Flies in space. It epically fails. And then no one survives except for Jake and Nog and the one girl who cried because she missed her parents.
By the way, everyone start with your reviews now. Give us your ratings and any words you may have about Valiant. We'll make quick work of this one. Why not? It's just I just don't buy into it. You got to buy even the most far out story or concept. You got to if you, on a certain level you have to buy into it. It's something you have to go. All right, I'll go with that, and then we'll see if the story is interesting or well done. This one's just not. It doesn't piss me off. Like again, you have, like I said, F's for me have to really piss me off or really make me crazy. But this is just like it's close. But I'd forgotten. Somehow I toned out that stupid ass scene with Quark. I already downgrade to F because Quark being in love with Jadzia's scene at the beginning of the episode makes me want to.
And it's done for absolutely no reason than the fact that every single episode, someone in the cast has to be hot and horny, and then it needs to be transferred to everyone else who wants to bump uglies with everybody else. So it's just so annoying to me. I absolutely hate it, and it's done for no reason. For no reason.
Indeed. Well. Let's see what our wonderful friends in the chat say about this episode. My good friends, Sander Hammerslag gives it he doesn't say anything, but gives it a D. A D. Thank you for that. Oh, we have a super chat from the great Sean Carter. Sean, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. He says, haha, I just put my earbuds in, and as soon as they connected, I was greeted to I can't even pronounce it, to or something. That. But not quite. I didn't do it as well. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. It's the little things in life we live for, Sean. The great Lord Thoth, Lord of the Wrenching, Master and God of Wrenches, says F this episode. Whoa, man. LT loves this one. He says preemptive F even. Sorry, preemptive F. No, well done. This is not how military training goes in any way at all. Never. In war or not in war. Would this have ever happened? F. This makes no sense. Ensigns, sure. Cadets, no. Wow. Thanks.
Kate, if you're new around here, it's really important for you to know that the guy that's talking cannot tell you who he is because he's a decorated RCMP officer in Canada. So he's not just talking out his butt, but he also isn't allowed to say who he is. So if he's telling you that, you need to believe what he's saying because that guy that just said that, the Lord Thoth guy, he's for real. For real. Anyway.
Yes, indeed. Jay Picasso, good to see you. Welcome, my friend. All right, let's see what we got. What got up in here? Shooter. Oh, he said, I thought last week it was going to be my only F. This episode proves me wrong. And so let's go to his review then. Shooter, our old pal Shooter says F. Take Wesley Crusher and fill a ship full of not quite copies, and this is what you get. Who crews a battleship with children? I mean, come on. It is so. I'm so with you there, buddy. Let's see here. Let's see. I so want to throw that captain kid out of an airlock, and kick Nog out of Starfleet. He was an ensign. Does that mean he outranks cadet? I mean, how arrogant are these Red Squad twerps? No shite, but they are absolute punks. The episode is borderline insufferable for that stuff alone. A wannabe Lord of the Flies in space that fails to deliver anything worthwhile. At least other bad episodes had likable characters to pick up the slack. Stupid ending as well. Oh, good Lord. So it was a really stupid ending. Whole episode's stupid. The wonderful Princess Fiona says D-. Another ridiculous portrayal of Starfleet as high school. A 12-year-old's version of how the military works. I think it means what WTF happened. What the TF happened to Kirk's Starfleet chain of command and military posture and discipline. 100
fails
years
Kirk test. Fails Kirk test. Fails Kirk test.
Yes. Fails the Kirk test. There you go. All right. Our good buddy Kal-El says, on the other hand, he says B-. This episode addresses some interesting themes. I think it did too. It just didn't I think it just didn't do him well personally, Cal. But I hear you. I agree with that. Interesting themes, such as the height of hubris combined with youth and inexperience. That's fair, cop. Which can make for a dangerous combination. A more seasoned officer or even a more level-headed cadet wouldn't have ordered the ship back to Federation space once all of the senior crew was lost. Unfortunately, they got Captain Waters, whose only real mission was to score his own decisive victory for the Federation against the Dominion, no matter what. Red Squad, after being repeatedly told that they were special, started to believe their own hype. Yeah, that's true. True that, buddy. Let's see here. Hang on. Get to your next one. Followed Waters to their doom. Even Nog initially falls for this, since he had wanted to join Red Squad for a while now, but thankfully came to his senses with little time to spare despite... Hang on. Gotta get to your next one here, buddy. My condemnation of Waters' actions. Oh, despite my condemnation of Waters' actions, I did like how the episode, through Nog, wanted to present both views of Waters and his actions and let the readers, audience, make up of their mind. Hang on. One more from Cal. Regardless of the foolish actions of an inexperienced commanding officer and equally green crew, this was a fairly entertaining episode overall. Well, thank you, buddy. Do appreciate that. We always appreciate your opinions here, my friend. That's our Supermensch Kal-El. All right, let's see where we is now. We have our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill says. Let's see here. D+. Had this been another sci-fi show in which such a command structure would be believable, this could be a touching, tragic, morbid way to explore military hubris in a Lord of the Flies format. Large, this is me. Interesting and well said, Jill, as always. As Trek, it would never happen. These are supposed to be the top-ranking cadets. So the moment that Captain Ramirez died, someone would contact Starfleet, or Starfleet would come looking for them. Let's see here. Get your next one right up in here. You should consider carefully that if your Star Trek story requires a cutoff in communications with Starfleet for several months, that you are digging yourself into a demented and disturbing hole. If this is the best of Starfleet, the entire Federation is in trouble. The XO follows the captain without ever questioning him, and as does the rest of the crew. Unbelievable. Inconceivable. I'm sorry. The captain himself is so full of drug-addled arrogance that he reminds me of a character I might find in Trek, maybe made after 2005. Yes, because he also wouldn't pass the real psych evaluation. Another great point, Jill. Absolutely. Most tragically, had they just gone to dock after completing Captain Ramirez's mission, they would have been met with the 24th century equivalent of a ticker tape parade, but they did not. They didn't. Well said, as always, Communications Officer Jill. Nice stuff. And Joseph Dredd says, C- to a D+. Thank you, Joseph. The AI show says, it's funny, the Love Boat was mentioned. That's what I thought about DS9 at times. I hear you. It got that way a lot. The boy really was. It was may not have been a boat, but it was the Love Dock for sure. Raymond Feliciano of King Dolphin TV and Color says, D, failed writing and horrible acting. If it wasn't for these meddling kids, cue Claw Boney. Well, anything for you, buddy. Just clue that Claw Boney for this episode. I am right there with you, brother. Where are we at now? Let's see. Wolfie says C+. These cadets suck about as much as Wesley Crusher. Oh, damn sloppy. We already established that the Red Squad is a problem. Makes sense that they would refuse orders to return to base. A single torpedo rigged with a radiogenic warhead could reduce those braces to the consistency of overcooked craft dinner spirals. Yeah. Oh, man. And this is a man that knows his technical stuff when it comes to Star Trek, by the way. Suckley's presence at Starfleet Academy ruined it forever. And of course, yes, Wesley Crusher ruins everything he touches. Simply Steve says, D for disaster. Jake gets second-class status in a Roddenberry future. Really? Kids in space is fairly accurate, and they could have been another. Another con-led group of Starfleet red shirts. Thank you, Simply. Appreciate you. JT Kirk says C-. The ship gives me a virtual umok. The ship gives me virtual umoks. What? Oh, man. But everything else is terrible. Clobby is right. So many leaps to buy into this. The writers hopped from Alamarain 4 right to Alamarain 1. What, do you think he's trying to get an Alamarain out of me?
I believe so.
That sounded like someone needs an Alamarain. Okay. Anything for you, buddy? Mr. Angel Chef says, F. We have a shortage in crew, sir. How do we fix it? Clones, new tech, better ships with higher automation, holographic crews, Starfleet, child labor. Yes. Oh, man. Not only that, he wants the agony booth. So there you go.
Your agonizer, please.
Yeah, buddy. All right, Chef. Thank you so much for that. Lisa, the lovely Lisa says, F. Another Jake and Nog episode. My head in hands. No thanks. I was able to make cinnamon muffins, cornbread, and a porterhouse steak with fresh salad greens from the garden. At least I accomplished much. I presume you mean while watching this episode.
That's exactly what she means.
Why do you have to make me hungry, Lisa? Damn it.
She's a good cook, too.
Oh, to make it worse. Thank you.
Don't look at the pictures of her food.
No, Lisa, you're killing me. Anonymous, hey, buddy. It's always good to see you. He says D-. Everything about this episode sat wrong with me. So many times Starfleet rules and common sense was abandoned and crapped on. Everybody but Jake was acting like morons with no sense of reality. Boy, that's for sure. Especially Nog. What a little... No, anyway. Everybody dies, and rightly so, and good riddance. They would have been disastrous for Starfleet. You got it, brother.
But funny.
Yep, well said, sir. Enigmatic Drop Bear says D. No, we should not be expected to believe a Defiant-class starship was missing for 8 months and crewed by a bunch of Wesleys. That's a really good point. Yes, and not made enough. So, thank you. Further, a newly commissioned Jem'Hadar battleship bristling with advanced weaponry is sailing around without any escort, seemingly unaware of the Valiant's presence. Yeah, another salient point. And not that we need more examples of in-universe inconsistencies, the Valiant sustained an excessive number of hits before being destroyed. No other starship has been this resilient. Good point. Thank you. Thank you, EDB. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of the Thramba Beat. Says F. This is the shake and bake of episodes. Nog found the weakness and attacked the Dominion battleship and survived, and I helped. Jake Sisko. Wow. Joseph Dredd says, this reminds me of the TNG episode where Wussy Crusher, but that's what I call him too. I call him Wussy. I like that though. Wussy Crusher got lied because of the acrobatic team mishap, and the cadet died. Yes,
first Judy.
Yeah, the first Judy Pooty.
And that's with 2 O's.
Yeah, it was a crapoid episode. The great Lord Thoughts has something to say here. He says, as a veteran who has been a military officer cadet and police cadet, there is no way this would have happened. We don't follow fools blindly today or the future, no matter how rah-rah the kid is, which just speaks more, LT, to how these Hollywood idiots are so out of touch. And this is in the 90s. They've always been out of touch with reality. And sometimes they make really good stuff. But when it's something to do with military or technical things or science things, and they don't bring in consultants and ask them, hey, let me run this scenario by you. What do you think that would happen? And they didn't in this case, obviously, or at least I don't think they did. It's just, that's what you get. That's what happens.
Boss, Claude
Yes.
Selling just walks through the door. Everyone,
Thanks.
wave to Claude.
Claude Selling. Good to see you. Did I say hello to Jay Picasso earlier?
Oh, no, I didn't even see Picasso come in the room. Picasso.
Just in case I didn't, Jay. Are you there? Sorry, I saw it on there and I couldn't remember if I had. But Fandy Outsider says, D, the title is the stupidity. If they were in a training mission, it wouldn't be behind enemy lines. Same with Jake and Nug. You'd think Ferenginar would be clearly behind the war zone. That's like, hey, let's fly from the U.S. to Switzerland during World War II. The length, breadth, and depth of stupidity. If the captain transferred command, he'd have issued orders, order return home, period. That's exactly. But we only have that idiot Kid Waters' word for that. That Captain Ramirez was a well-respected captain. That kid's lying, and they should have put something in their story to contradict his lie. No, like you say, no Starfleet captain would have said, "Go finish my mission." That kid was nuts.
Sci-fi people writing sci-fi. They don't want to do any of the research, and that's why they like talking about people's fifis. And they turned it into the Love Boat, and everything is this, exploration of interpersonal matters between people who are on the show. And there's no science in it, because writing science fiction involves research, and these people don't want to do research.
No. Well, they rarely even write science fiction on this show. We've already determined that a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the Love Boat.
I didn't need the third section. Was able to trash it in only 2 comments. Lol. Fanty Outsider, dude. Just for that.
Your agonizer, please.
All right, you big smarty pants, you. The great Chris Persia says E. We have a new rating, E now. Wow.
I love you, Chris.
Starfleet using cadets as cannon fodder for reconnaissance is deplorable. Is this what they believe? That Starfleet is the Rwanda of the galaxy, using child soldiers? That's why the whole premise, it's just...
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't like that angle either.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how people who really love science fiction, like science fiction as a genre, how we all think alike?
Well, maybe not all, but here we gotta, we're on the same page more often than not, at least with some regards.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant it in like what meets our requirements for believability.
Right.
That we really, really need to have it be believable.
Sure.
And that's that's something that is essential to science fiction.
Indeedishness for sureishness. SC Barnabas says C for me. Thank you, SC, and we appreciate you here. And now our final review for this episode of the evening. The caboose, the great chief engineer, Mark D with the C, says C+. Some interesting bits, although the setup is ridiculous. It also makes no sense that the Valiant would not make its way back to Federation space after they destroyed the Cardassian ship. Yes, that was bad enough that they were out there bucking orders in the first place. I think they were trying to fashion Waters in the vein of a J.T. Kirk type, in charge of a young crew a la Tiwak. There are some good scenes and moments with Waters and crew, and then he goes insane. Attacking the Doomsday Machine. We needed a not with my ship you don't, yes, from Doomsday Machine moment from Nog and crew. P.S. It could have been worse if Wesley was in charge. You know what? I hate Wesley, but even he wouldn't be that stupid. He's annoying, not stupid. He's just annoying. Yeah. I hate to say it because don't put me in a defense. How dare you put me in a position to have to defend Wesley? Damn it. Chief engineer?
Only Mark.
Dude, you are I'm mad at you now, man.
Your agonizer, please.
Anonymous says rated E for excrement.
Damn it, Mark.
Oh, damn it, Mark. I'm not going to play that. I should, though, shouldn't I?
It's great.
Should I?
Well, yeah.
I have to find it first.
I
Oh,
mean,
there we go.
he's an engineer.
All right.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
That's for you, buddy. All right,
Everyone,
let's
we actually love him, but it is in his contract.
He deserved that. Everything's his fault no matter what. So can we drop this stink bomb and go to the next
Yep, let's
stink bomb?
go to the next
next
one.
episode. All right, our next episode, folks, is
Katie Carr's here.
Hi, Katie. It's Profit and Lace. I'm so sorry to report. Never mind. Ugh. Hey, Katie. Good to see you, my dear.
Profit and Lace is season 6, episode 23, prod code 547. I guess I should say production code. Sorry, folks. I picked up some habits when in radio and in radio school, and sometimes I say prod. I don't mean to. It's out of habit. Anyway.
This episode, you definitely want to use the word prod, if you know what I mean.
We all watched this for the very first time on May 11th, 1998. And now let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I should mention that I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia.
And I'm going to get medicine.
User-generated encyclopedia.
I'm going to get medicine while you do that real quick.
Okay, you go do that. Everybody, you watch my 6 while I try and get through this user-generated content. It's probably going to suck. Let's just do it. The episode opens with Quark sexually harassing one of his best waitresses. Rom rushes in to declare that while trying to contact their mother, Ishka, he has lost contact with their home planet of Ferenginar. He fears that the Dominion may have taken over the planet. When they go to explain the situation to Captain Sisko, sensors pick up an incoming ship, which is carrying both the Grand Negus and Ishka. The Negus explains that by changing the Ferengi Bill of Opportunities to allow women to wear clothes, he has caused a planet-wide upheaval and has been replaced by former liquidator Brunt, who will be officially installed by the Commission at the next meeting. Quark, Rom, and Nog contact all 435 of the Ferengi commissioners to come to DS9 to meet and talk about the situation. Only one commissioner agrees. Brunt finds out about the upcoming meeting and arrives on the station to torment Quark and thwart his plans. After standing up to Brunt and throwing him out of the bar, Quark and his mother return to Quark's quarters. They get into a shouting match with Quark blaming his mother for everything that has happened to Zek, while Ishka argues that before Zek met her, he was a lonely man. The shouting match causes her to suffer a heart attack, and Dr. Bashir performs a heart transplant. Without Ishka to stand up and speak for herself at the meeting, Quark poses as a female named Lumba to try and fool the commissioner. Over dinner, it's not fool. It's like it's to meet with him, to convince him that ladies are smart too. Who writes this crap? Go write this better. This is crap. Anyway, but it does make me giggle. Over dinner, Quark, the Lumba Quark, has to fend off the advances of the commissioner while explaining the benefits of the increase in the workforce and consumer base that Ferengi females would bring. Once in the commissioner's room, the commissioner goes on a full-on assault. He doesn't go into an assault. He's chasing Quark around the apartment. Finally, Brunt bursts in and tries to unmask Lumba as an imposter and a male. This fails when she removes her dress, revealing her female anatomy to Brunt and the commissioner. Convinced, the commissioner pledges his support for Zek. Later, Quark's sex change is reversed, and Zek and Ishka leave the station, anticipating Zek's restoration as Grand Negus. Quark, still experiencing the hormonal fluctuations from his sex change, apologizes to his mother, who accepts his apology. She tells him that while he is a lousy son, he made a wonderful daughter. After Zek and Ishka leave, Quark apologizes to the waitress that he harassed at the start of the episode and gives her a raise. And that is all Wikipedia, the user generated encyclopedia, has to say about profit and lace. Are you back, boss? Are you ready to tell us what you think about this episode?
I'm sorry, but Clobby's dead. He hated the episode so much it gave him a heart attack. He fell down when I was yelling at him, just like Ishka did. So I guess I'll have to review the episode. Boy, what a profitless piece of shit this episode is. It's inconceivable. He's awake now. I guess he got miraculously brought back to life by Dr. Bashir, who can do anything and change people anyway. Sorry about that. Come back, Clobby. You can do the show now. Hey, don't do that. Don't shoot me, no.
Aw, Zeki. Oh, little Zeki.
This episode has no profit whatsoever. Stop cutting me. Oh, God.
I got no profit out of this one personally. I profited not from this episode. Thank you, ED. I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I can't even get really that worked up about it. Zet can, but I can't. I just think this. Since when is this? This show's done a lot. Why does it have to be a 1960s sitcom now, where a man puts on a dress and another dude falls in love with him, even though he knows the guy.
Come and knock on our door.
He's Jack Tripper. It's not even somebody he doesn't know. He knows Quark, and he puts on a freaking dress. And of course, later we have the scene where Dr. Bashir has mutated him. Sorry, I dropped something. Just to be honest, I can't stand Ferengi episodes. I like Quark as a character. I like Rom now. Finally get used to Rom, and I can even tolerate Nog now. And of course, Jeffrey Combs is brunt because Jeffrey Combs is great and everything.
But I don't even like Wallace Shawn. See, I'm the best. I'm the best character in all. I'm the greatest Ferengi because I am the Grand Nagus.
But Jesus, mother of God, this is just. Why is this Star Trek? Why am I here? This is not what I signed up for Star Trek for. None of your episodes tonight that we watched tonight. I was like, this is not what I go to Star Trek for, folks. A fucking 60s sitcom. God damn it. Unfunny crap and embarrassing, but it allowed them to preach. I've had it. Just go ahead and give us notes. I can't even take it anymore. Screw this stuff.
Okay, so this is what I wrote down while I watched the episode. You ready, everyone? This is the one where Quark becomes a woman and enjoys it. Quark is Henry Weinstein at the beginning of the episode. And Zeki is the best.
He's Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, that scene was also stupid.
Did I say? What did I say?
The girl was.
I said Harvey,
gorgeous.
right?
No, you said Henry, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
hey,
sorry,
the guy's a
everyone, I'm
scumbag. The guy's a scumbag. You don't need to get his name right. But that girl was that woman that was a super hottie, by the way.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Zeki is the best. However, Cecily Adams, I could do without. Little Zeki. I miss Andrea Martin. I think that she did Ishka 10 times better. Some serious commentary on cultures and countries where women are subjugated. Unfortunately, instead of digging into that, which is what Gene Roddenberry would have done,
Tootsie. There you go.
and dealing with it, they just totally turn it into a comedy, and worst of all, they turn it into physical comedy. So it's slapstick, and so it's really bad. And then we have an adult son arguing with his mom. And then what's really bad is that the script calls for them to start not only yelling at each other, but also screaming at each other. And I just don't find it enjoyable. This is where you just press mute on your rewatch. I mean, I rewatch all 735 iterations of Star Trek starting on January 1st every year. I have done so since it was possible.
You got to stop.
And I have to tell you, that's the place where you mute. In 1998, I thought this episode was amazing. I thought that the idea of gender ambiguity being celebrated, I thought it was incredibly progressive and dangerous. But it hasn't aged well. Because it's nothing but a big joke. Quark enjoyed being a woman, and he learned his lesson. And so that's kind of nice. But once again, if you're just going to turn it into slapstick, Why do
I agree with you there.
why do they approach these incredibly important topics and then run away from them? So this whole idea of gender ambiguity is a very serious topic that's been covered again and again and again with Star Trek, despite what the filth people have said. They're Jennifer Lawrencing, which because the gender ambiguity thing is been dealt with in Star Trek throughout Star Trek. But that aside, it is very clear that we have an opportunity with Ferengi and Ferenginar to really get into these serious issues. It is very clear that they are talking about specific countries where women don't have the right to vote. Women can't leave their house without being accompanied by a guardian, and so on and so forth. So if you're going to get into that, just do it. Be brave. Why are you such cowards where you turn it into a joke and worse, like a Jerry Lewis movie?
That undercuts it, in my opinion, when you turn it into a 60s sitcom when it's serious.
Yeah.
Because the messaging and stuff about this episode is great. Like you said, the way women are treated in our own planet right now and other parts of the world. And this is a good chance to talk about that sort of thing. Sorry to interrupt your notes, but this cheapens it when you do garbage like this.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, and it's also the fact that they did like two things here that I think are kind of weird. It's like, walk a mile in her shoes, I guess, but that's not what they did. What they did was they celebrated gender ambiguity, because it's very clear that Quark enjoyed being a woman, and he sort of expresses regret and also expresses affection for the Sluggo Kolo guy, and it's sort of implied that they may have had a romantic interlude beyond the camera, and that was done on purpose in the dialogue. Right. So that's one very serious issue that could have been discussed, but they acted like cowards about it. And then we have this other very serious issue, which is that on Ferenginar basically represents those cultures and countries where women are completely subjugated. And then, once again, they turn it into a big joke. Why act like a coward? Why do you walk right up to an issue that requires incredible seriousness and act like you're stunning and brave by talking about it, but then act like some sort of jerkwad nincompoop by turning it into a 60s sitcom? And they did that with two very serious issues here. And so and in previous
good night, Penny.
In previous
have a good night.
Star Trek, they did a pretty good job of it. So or at least they tried to keep it serious. Good night, Penny.
Good night, Penny.
So basically, like I just think that the episode is crap. It's a sweet story, but it is too goofy. It turns to physical comedy for two incredibly serious issues. It pretends that it tackles two incredibly serious issues, but actually doesn't tackle either one. This would have been done better without all the outrageous comedy, and if they would have picked their battle. Pick one of the battles and stick with it there and be brave. Don't try and pretend like you're doing something progressive when you're actually not. You're acting like a jerk off. So it's a D for me.
It's interesting you talk about that. And again, I think the AI show pointed out a little bit in the chat. Yes, Tootsie, there's a good thing to compare it to. It's Tootsie, this movie, but that was not claiming to be anything other than a comedy. So they use, like you said, this very heavy, very important story, idea about, again, to talk about how, and they've used the Ferengi for this before, by the way, how to talk about how horrible women are treated and still to this day in many parts of the world. Yet they turned it into Tootsie. And that's a lighthearted comedy. And reason why it's not you can't take it seriously is because they're expecting you to believe. And again, that's the story of not just all the stupid slapstick comedy you're talking about. That a guy can put on women's clothing, and another guy who knows him can fall in love, think it's completely different, a woman and not the same dude. Not the dude, not the guy. It's just so stupid. You could put on the dress, but you still got the same face and all that crap, and you put on some makeup, and you're not. It's just they've done that throughout, not just Tootsie. They've done that on many, many TV shows and movies before, Some Like It Hot and all that stuff. And it's fine because those are all comedies. This is, I know DS9 loves comedy. They can't, but even in their other Ferengi comedies, some are not funny, some are. This was Bugs Bunny stuff. And I love Bugs Bunny. But this was literally Quark as Bugs Bunny in this episode. And it's asinine. That's
Yeah.
just it. Yeah. So what did you give it?
I gave it a D. Because because it is one of those it is a like I don't want to call it a milestone. It's more than that. It's a part of sort of debunking the filth that prior to the filth we were never having these conversations.
Right.
That Star Trek was never having those conversations. So it is important. It's just like I said, it's just so ridiculous the way that it's handled, and I think that using the Ferengi to talk about the fact that the women in North America, women in the Western world, have all of these incredible rights, and that we are so incredibly free, and that there are over 200 million missing women and girls in our world today. It's a very serious issue.
Right. Yes.
So and I'll turn everyone to the documentary. It's a Girl. Go and watch that, and it talks about the over 200 million missing and murdered women and girls in our world today. So it's a very serious issue, and they just turn it into.
They made light of it. Made a joke. Yeah, I give it an F. You got a D. So yeah, and again, I know this was 1998, but that's no excuse.
It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up. So, all right, my friends in the chat, please come forth with any rating you may have for this episode, Profit and Lace, and any words you may have, and we will get those start up, and we'll read them, because that's what we do around here. It's all of us reviewing the episode, not just us, for anyone who's just new to the show. So let's go ahead, and we'll get a few of those start up, and then we'll get going. We're making pretty good time tonight, too. Which doesn't matter. We're here to have fun, so it doesn't matter. First, I'll start out with our wonderful friend Katie. It's so good to see you, Katie. We love you and hope you're doing well, my dear. She said my full review of these four episodes tonight. Well, she gave the first one a D that we did earlier, which was The Reckoning. The second one was Valiant. She gave that a C, and this one I'll leave that starred for later. But she gives this one, Profit and Lace, an F. Princess Fiona says F minus. With you. 2 words, instant doubtfire. I like it. I've always felt the Ferengi were poorly conceived and ridiculously presented. It was a bad idea that they just kept doubling down on them. I'm so with you there. Impossible to take seriously. It wasn't until Quark came along and had some sort of personality that I even liked. I couldn't even stand I hated the Ferengi every time I saw him on TNG, Princess Fiona. And I only started warming up a little bit because Quark, brilliantly played by Armin Shimmerman, has been written well from time to time. And even they find a way even to incorporate him for a good reason on the show. But so I'm so with you. But still, a lot of Ferengi episodes are just annoying. TOS and some TNG did amazing allegory, but these writers aren't good enough to do it. You can't do it, and you can't do it half literal and half metaphorical. Allegory needs to be well removed to be effective. Well done. I love Princess.
Yeah, and pick your battle. You want to put on your big boy pants and act like you want to tackle a really like controversial issue, then do it. Don't be a coward. And yes. I find the approach incredibly cowardly.
Indeedishness. Joseph Dredd says F minus. Thank you, sir. Scuba Pete says Chantilly lace. Chantilly lace and Lubama's pretty face by sheer nips the Quark hanging down. Now he wiggles when he walks and he gives when he talks. The Lord makes Brunt go round. Sorry, Brunt chases him round and round. I messed your song all up, brother, but he gives it a D. You rascal. We've got to love Pete's the greatest, man. Oh, man. It's good to see you there, buddy. We need to hang out again one of these days, man. Come on the stream. Come hang out with the geekery one night again. D minus, says me inviting you to another man's channel, meaning Mark's, but there you go. D minus, does Bashir, says Simply Steve, does Bashir have Ferengi female prosthetics or even a heart? In the med bay, Zek returns. Quark and Drag, yikes. Do female Ferengi not wear clothes before winning their right to do so? Then don't wear. They're not supposed to wear clothes according to the episodes that we've seen. Shooter says F. A Tra episode in 1998.
Inconceivable.
Nope, can't do it. What WTF are the woke crowd complaining about there being no past shows doing Tra stories, even if they are horrendous? I can't answer that question. I don't know if they are. I don't know, Shooter. Fanty Outside, he says, D. It was a terrible episode. They were trying for a Some Like It Hot. I'm a man. Nobody's perfect. This change showed real commitment. But would your lobes ever be the same again? That's a good question, Fanny. Actually, no. Don't ask that question. D minus says Jonah Hex. JT Kirk said F plus. I hated it when it originally aired, and I hate it now. Too many Ferengi padding episodes in DS9. Oh, that's for sure. I want a fun one tonight to really nerd out on. Sadly, this one ain't it. No, It wasn't fun at all. What even? Well, they thought it was fun, obviously.
No.
Jonah Hex. It's a D minus for all, and I'm being generous. Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreedishness. Okay, the great Kal-El says C minus. This episode was an attempt at Ferengi-centric episode filled with humor, but most of it fell flat for me. The episode tries to bring to the forefront an issue that's still discussed today, but the message they're trying to convey in the episode, entwined with the comedic attempts throughout, still comes off as incredibly preachy. This is what happens when the message indeed, takes precedence over just telling a good story with already well-developed characters. The only reason why this episode does get a lower rating is because the performances of all those involved were well done, especially Jeffrey Combs as Brunt. Jeffrey Combs is always great. I'm with you there, but you got to love the Jeff man there. Given what the actors had to work with. Although I normally enjoy Ferengi-centric episodes, this one was an easy pass for me. Well, I hear you right there, buddy.
Even the fact that Quark is instantly changed. Do you know what I mean? Like he's instantly redeemed. Like he's turned over a new leaf instantly. So he goes from this horrible Weinstein character, and then all of a sudden, like he would have made a wonderful daughter. Right. Wouldn't it have been far more interesting? Dave!
Dave's here?
Yeah, Dave just walked in the door. Wouldn't it have been far more interesting if Quark wasn't redeemable? If Quark, even through that experience, was still a douchebag? Like, anyway, it's just they made no attempt to address any of the serious issues, and I love these comments, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, they undercut everything they were trying to accomplish, I think. Wolfie says, rating D, Mrs. Doubt Ferengi, slimy cola, yeesh. Yeah, no, well said, sir. Let's see here. Up in Yule, Mr. Angel, the chef says C+. Hilarious. Quark feels new equipment. I am hilarious. Quark feels new equipment. I am so confused right now. Wow, worth it. Cringe, but hilarious cringe. Well, Mr. Angel was good with it. Let's see here.
I like his reasoning, because if he opened up his shirt and he saw something there, look at it for a while. It's honest.
It is. We love the chef. Anti-derivative Jill says F. Quark reverts back to his original characterization from season 1 wherein he demonstrated a rash display of libido, causing him to set up his best employee for sex work. Yep. The worst part of this aspect is that his character ends the same way he began, only superficially displaying a temporary change in nature due to hormones. Truishness, that's true. The only valuable revelation I made during this episode is how I finally realized that Slogo Cola must be Futurama's inspiration for Slurm soda. Could be. This topic has potential. Questioning the function of Ferengi society and making a change could be great, but it plods along almost unendingly, going over the same argument with no progression. Good one, Jill. Absolutely. This episode is just set up to the beratement of Quark and other Ferengi males instead of confronting the issue in a more constructive way. No growth is allowed to occur, says our wonderful friend Jill. Well said, as always, Chief Communications Officer. D.D. Myers Jr. says, Clobby, I give this one a F+++. The episode really sticks. I think he means sucks. Don't think this episode should have never been written. Probably say it should never been written. Well, I hear you, and I cannot argue with that. The great Chris Persia says, D. As far as a corrupt capitalist society goes, how could they pass the opportunity for wealth in women's fashion? Women's fashion. I don't know. WRT, the underlying message, to pass it off as a joke undermines the suffragette movement. That's true. So that's what I say. Thank you, Chris Persia. Vindicated Wrench of the Norse. The great, wonderful Lisa says F. Nothing like a spoonful of sugar to help the audience to laugh at women. Women are useful for adding to the workforce, to monetize them and future consumers of product. And for rubbing ears.
Preach, baby, preach. I love Lisa so much. Lisa, I love you, Lisa.
Well said, Lisa. Love you. The AI show, our new friend, says an F. It's taking the frat comedy film take on a modestly serious issue. Yes, sorry, I messed that up. Rather thin writing. At least Quark didn't sing "I Am Woman." You know, good point. I'm almost surprised that he didn't. X says D. The episode missed major opportunities for Star Trek's typical approach to societal ills.
Yes.
However, it was at least kind of funny. I got you. I hear you.
It did have moments.
Yes, indeed. The great enigmatic drop bear says D. Imagine that. The Star Trek universe's resident capitalist species finally worked out that increasing their consumer base is concomitant. Just said it right.
Yeah.
With expanding economic opportunities. Genius. This story is another example of how poorly thought through the Ferengi concept was. Oh boy, was it ever. Their underdevelopment relegated to their comedy relief. And it's also, to be honest, when they were conceived of on TNG, they were just there for a bunch of Hollywood jackasses to attack capitalism without any thought. That's what I've always thought about the Ferengi. They even say so in their first appearance. Mm-hmm. This makes them unsuitable for the themes presented in this episode. And that's a shame. It could have worked quite well had the Ferengi been better developed over the series run.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Briggs and that's Quark. Oh, that's the Quark enigma in a nutshell. They never made up their mind whether he was a lovable rogue or an irredeemable scoundrel. So they went with both depending on the plot requirements. Yes. Good point. Is that all the reviews we have, Summer?
That's it.
Okay. Going once. Going. So there he is. I got you.
Where's Mark?
I got his first one. He'll get the other one.
Okay, good.
The great Mark D with the C that says F. Quark was truly odious in the opening scene at the bar. One of the most reprehensible moments in Trek. Our favorite DS9 bartender tells his best employee to take home a book. to learn to sexually gratify him, or she might get fired. Yeah, it was wow. I hadn't seen that in a long time, and when I was watching it the other night, I was like, wow, really? I don't remember this scene. This was so infuriating that the morality tale of Quark learning that he was wrong was lost in the morass of a not funny comedy. I agree. This was a lost opportunity for what could have been an illuminating episode on women's rights and how medical procedures in the future could help people.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure what episode gets me more angry, this one or the next.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil anything.
I totally agree, Mark.
So I believe we are done with this. SC Barnabas says F. So there you go. All right. That's it for this episode, folks. It's gone. Out of our lives forever. Then she walked out of our
except for
lives
me,
forever.
because I'll be watching it again next year.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, folks. Are we ready for our next episode?
We're ready. Let's do it.
Timey-wimey's Orphan.
Oh, boy. Time's Orphan is Season 6, Episode 24, Production Code 548. We all watched this for the very first time on May 18th, 1998. Right, Lisa? Lasai. And Steve's like, don't do it, Raquel.
Don't do it, Raquel.
All right, I'm going to read from Wikipedia. Probably going to suck. Let's just get through this, folks, and hopefully we can just have a laugh. Everyone, smile. Smile. Even if you have to grit your teeth, smile.
Don't let us bias you. If you like it, you like it. Don't listen to me.
Yes.
X is new here. Yeah, we do, but we're doing them. It says, do we ever review the good episodes?
Chronological
yeah,
order,
we do, but we're doing them in order. So yeah, we actually have believe it or not, X, we've raved about episodes, how much we love them. Just not the past couple of weeks, admittedly.
Unfortunately.
But that's a fair question.
Yeah, it's like the writers, it's like it is true to life, right? Because you can see the ebb and flow of the writers' room as they run out of ideas and borrow from other authors and sort of scramble and put things together and just, generally suck. So let's do this.
Call them as we see them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I agree. Mark D. Where's Captain Finity when you see him? He's too busy guarding the timeline. Go ahead.
He is.
Continue.
Miles and Keiko O'Brien. Oh, Miles.
Don't make me
take their children to the planet Golana for a picnic. While playing, 8-year-old Molly, she's not 8 years old.
No,
that is not correct. That you are getting 8 years old.
Same thing with Alexander. You notice that?
Yep. Molly is not 8 years old. You are getting that from Memory Alpha. That is not correct. So let's keep going. Falls into an abandoned time portal, which closes after Molly passes through. It sends her 300 years into the past, to a time when the planet was uninhabited. The crew of Deep Space Nine help the O'Briens recover Molly using transporter technology to lock onto her signal once they are able to open the portal again. However, they find the portal has opened at a different time, and Molly and the Molly they rescue is now 18 years old and feral. After having survived on her own for 10 years on the planet's past.
Oh my God.
Molly is brought back to the station and placed in a special habitat made to resemble the planet. Like, this is borrowed from like 2 movies, and it's so annoying to me. To allow the O'Briens to try to reconnect with their daughter. Molly slowly comes to remember her parents. Oh God. But still is barely controllable and confined to the boundaries of the habitat. She asks her parents to take her home, but when they bring her back to their apartment, their apartment.
Their apartment.
Their apartments, their quarters.
Whatever the hell it is.
What DS9? They're not in Chicago. Who wrote this crap? She makes it clear that she means she wants to return to Golana. Her parents take her to a simulation of Golana in a hollow suite, to which she responds positively. But when the simulation is deactivated, Molly becomes violent. Starfleet informs the O'Briens that it plans to put Molly into a mental institution. That's not true. Gene Roddenberry would never have allowed that.
No.
A situation that neither Miles nor Keiko believes is ideal for Molly. With the help of a sympathetic Odo, Miles and Keiko return Molly to the portal on Golana. That's not true. They don't get help from Odo. They escape and they take her away with the intention of destroying it to prevent Starfleet from finding her. Starfleet would, the military would never take someone's human child and put them in a mental institution in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. The military would have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm lost where I'm reading here. Just a second. After Miles and Keiko say their goodbyes, Molly returns through the portal but encounters her younger self only a short time after she has fallen through. The older Molly points her younger self back through the portal because there's two Mollys. As soon as the younger Molly passes through, the older Molly disappears. Oh! Molly reappears moments before Miles is about to destroy the portal, and the happy family is reunited. In a side plot, Jadzia Dax offers to look after Molly's 1-year-old brother Yoshi. Her husband, Worf, volunteers to care for the child, hoping to prove his parenting skills to Dax. What? When Yoshi bumps his head, Worf condemns himself as an unfit parent, but he is mollified when Dax tells him that the O'Briens said that Yoshi has bumped his head many times before, and tells him that Yoshi has happily learned one of the Klingon games Worf taught him. And very mysteriously, Jadzia doesn't understand a Klingon word or a Klingon song when she is fluent in Klingon and is... Just take it away. I can't talk anymore.
Andy Masterson, what's up, dude?
Eyeballs ripped out, Andy. Andy the Maker is here. Andy!
Okay. All right.
Just take it away. I have notes, but just do it.
I'm gonna need a minute here. All right. Let me. I'm gonna yell, but I'm gonna spare your ears and give you something we all need. Oh God! How do I hate the episode? Let me count the ways. All right. First of all, forget about that crap. Look, every point you make is perfectly valid, but there's one that not touched upon that really, really drives me absolutely insane. First of all, your story. Story. Don't care. Entertainment value of the episode. Don't care because characterization. Don't care. Script. Don't care. Visuals. Don't care. Here's what I care about, folks. It's going to be weird. I get it. First of all, Raquel is quite right. That they've done to what's her name, Molly, what they did to Alexander, added years to her life. Now, all of a sudden, she's 8 years old. Alexander shouldn't have been 8, and she shouldn't have been 8. And now, of course, when she goes to this planet, when she comes back out, she's 18. Which you could have done that without adding years to her life anyway, but it's neither here nor there. Here's my biggest problem with all of this crap that has not been mentioned. Yes, I'm totally with you that was bullshit about what Starfleet wanted to do with Molly. But what the O'Briens wanted to do was worse. Because
weird.
They were going to take their child back to a goddamn planet that was empty and nobody there. I don't care that she lasted 10 years on her own and was feral. They would say basically the Federation, who offered to bring her somewhere to work with her, to help her out. She was still smart. She obviously had a traumatic, well, it wasn't traumatic to her. She didn't know any better. Are you kidding me? You're going to take her back and dump her on the planet for the remainder of her days, all alone on a planet by herself. By her, and to never see her again. I can't. That to me is the word. No one ever talks about that part of this episode. They just talk about this doesn't make sense.
Well,
That doesn't make sense.
Notes.
Oh, good. Because this is the worst part of this episode. I mean, because I don't care. We've seen plenty of episodes, folks, that don't make sense for whatever science fiction reason or fantasy reason or just plain common sense reason. We talk about all those things all the time. But the one thing here is the O'Briens, for example, when we talk about Cisco doing something way out of character or what other characters doing something out of character, they were going to leave their child on a planet at 18, again, completely uninhabited for the rest of her born days. In fact, they were going to steal a runabout to go do that, and did. In point of fact, they were going to dump their child into the garbage can of history. After the child had already spent 10 years alone on a planet by herself. I don't care how happy they think she was. They let her make her own decision. This is like this was written today, because how people don't understand that children that young, especially one who spent 10 years alone with no parents, can't make their own decisions properly. They were going to let this child, because she boo-hooed once and attacked somebody on the promenade. Oh, yeah, we better just give up on. Let's not let the Federation, with all their advances, all their technology, all their doctors and hollow suites and all these other things that they can do to help the kid. No, we'll just throw her back into the past. Buy herself on a planet. Are you kidding me? This is Hollywood degeneracy. I don't care if it was 1998. They're just as bad now and they're just as bad then. Hollywood degeneracy. Obviously written by idiots who don't have children. You jackasses. That's the thing I hate most about the story. I don't care that it's a time travel story that's goofy. I don't care that they add 8 years to what's-her-name's life. I don't care about anything other than I'm supposed to like. I really like Miles O'Brien. I don't give a. We make fun of Keiko. I never really cared much about her either. But I like Miles. That he's that much of a goddamn idiot and jerk. You've never had kids, apparently. The idiots who wrote this episode clearly didn't have children. Because if you ask them, would you dump your child to leave him on a planet, an uninhabited planet or not, all alone for the rest of her born days? What's wrong with you? Sorry. Now I'll take a breather and I'll let you go for your notes. I apologize, but that's what I take away from this episode the most.
Okay, so I have some stuff I want to say. So here are my notes, and I'm going to add to that because I agree with all that, but I'm going to add to it because it's something that needs to be said that everybody needs to remember every time they watch this episode. But first, we'll start at the beginning of my notes.
Exactly, Mark. They gave her a bag of stuff and a doll to survive.
Here you go.
Exactly.
Keiko's back to tell Miles that he's fat. Oh, Miles. Picnic by a cave with a time portal. Lisai. That's what I actually put in my notes.
But even
Picnic by a cave with a time portal.
Goofy though it is. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. So Jadzia says Worf isn't good with babies, but in other episodes, the O'Brien baby can only be comforted by Worf or Miles.
They didn't watch their own show.
That's right. Worf tries to be kind, and Jadzia is a jerk to him. So many of us in the 735 are not appreciative of Jadzia's behavior in this way, and I'm one of them. I'm waving my hand. Molly was born in 2368, and some of you will remember of the episode Disaster. Worf helped Molly be born. Right now, it is 2374, making Molly 6 years old. Though Memory Alpha, Wikipedia, and I believe IMDb all say that she is 8 years old, which is incorrect.
Ridiculous.
Okay. So this is another one of these times where, people need to stop saying that, stop regurgitating the trivia they get off of IMDb or saying, but I read somewhere. You're just reading crap. Stop reading crap. Just go and read some books that are vetted, that are original source material. Stop reading crap on the internet. It's crap. Anyway, 5 to 12 is considered late childhood. Now, this is in psychology. So this is fact. I'm not going to debate it with people. This isn't something that, I just pulled out of thin air. 5 to 12 years old in child psychology is considered, and I quote, the exact label, this is the label, late childhood. This is the 4th stage before adolescence. Molly wouldn't have an early childhood or 1 to 3-year-old mind or a toddler's mind, behavior, or language. This makes the episode weird and unbelievable. Many studies suggest that by Molly's exact age, as a matter of fact, by around 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, kids' personalities are set for life. So Molly wouldn't be a grunting and groaning and whatever that crap is.
No.
That she wouldn't be doing that.
It's so stupid.
She would probably have PTSD if this happened to her, but she would be able to communicate. This is the 5 to 12 years old in Molly's 6th year is late childhood. This is a fully formed child with a full personality that will never change. This person is a fully formed human at this point, okay? The Wharf B story is absolutely awful and just humiliating towards men. I hate it. At one point, Miles says there's going to be consequences. When are they going to get the pronoun antecedent and the subject-verb agreement correct on this show? R is for plural. There are going to be consequences. There's an S there. It's not is. Is singular, okay? So try and get the subject verb. Like, come on. Like, it's just a TV show, and it's not like it's one writer here. This is a team of writers working with a team of editors and a team of producers. Like, there are that many of you in a room and you can't figure it out? Anyways, the parental reaction is absolutely insane and fake. It's actually sickening. Why are there 2 Mollys? Moreover, Galana is a picnic place, okay? So it is very unlikely that Galana isn't inhabited or isn't used as a pleasure planet or as a vacation planet for picnics. We're talking about a Class M planet with delicious, gorgeous weather, perfect for picnicking, that's right by DS9.
It's ridiculous.
So why is Molly grunting and groaning? She's a fully formed person who is capable of complex sentences. She has a full capacity for language, and she's on a picnic planet, a Class M planet, right beside Bajor, right beside the wormhole, and people go there to picnic. So whoever wrote this is a complete moron, because Galana is not, she wouldn't be alone. She wouldn't have, none of that would have happened. And when you send a 6-year-old somewhere and they have no contact with anyone, they don't react that way. But Galana wouldn't be, she wouldn't be completely alone on Galana anyway. Everyone in Starfleet uses Galana as a picnic planet.
Right.
So what in the double F is going on here?
But it was 300 years earlier, but still, that's no excuse. There should have been someone there.
Well, this is just it. Bajor's been there for how many years?
Right. Exactly.
3,000?
It's ludicrous.
And they're saying that the archaeology dates 30,000, and prior to that, didn't they also say that there was something on Bajor from 100,000 years ago? So
yeah. It's still
Galana,
ridiculous.
Yeah. So imagine someone from Kirk's generation not visiting Galana and not knowing about Galana. How about the skin people? Do you think that maybe the skin people went there to check it out?
Well, Bajor was very close to it. Remember, they had space travel at that point, didn't they?
Oh, Enigmatic Drop Bear just told me why it sucks so bad.
Joe Manosky. Oh, boy.
Joe Manosky.
That's your favorite.
You know,
one of your favorites.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that the Federation is new. The Federation and human beings traveling and human beings being in this area. I mean, even look at the Cardassians. You're telling me that the Cardassians wouldn't take a seize hold of Galana and use it to populate for Cardassia?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So like, and the Cardassians have been there as a you know, a modernized, fully industrialized society for hundreds of years.
Plus, somebody had to put that time portal there.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Why would Molly be alone? Molly wouldn't be alone on Galana.
No.
And even in it's so
don't even rack your brain on that stuff. Everything about the episode is stupid.
It's so dumb.
You got plenty of stupid to choose from.
Yeah, it's just so.
I hate this.
I just. Oh
my God!
And why did they abandon? That's why I put in my notes. This is actually sickening.
Why were there two Mollys?
If you accept that no one has ever been on Galana and no one will ever go on Galana ever again, even though it's basically a picnic pleasure planet. Let's say that you take that for granted and that Molly's never going to talk to anyone ever again and never see anyone ever again. No one will ever picnic there ever again. And that's it. And no one will ever visit that planet. Why did her parents leave her there alone? Why? Why would they do that? And Starfleet would never put her in a mental institution. She would go and she would be helped.
No, they would bring her to a facility. By the way, the Bryans could go with her.
Yes.
They could go with this facility. They would use everything in their power to help her, and they would help her because it's the 24th century Federation, for God's sake. And she would be, obviously, it's a terrible thing that happened to her if you just accept this stupid story. So they would be able to stay with her, go with her, whatever, and take care of her. And the Federation would be help. The fact that they wanted to run away and drop her somewhere into the past on her own is just mind-boggling to me.
It's just dumb. And to suppose that is an abandoned planet, I don't buy it.
No.
It's a Class M planet in a sector of space that is fully occupied by a fully industrialized spacefaring species. So why?
You got me.
I don't believe this when people are fighting over resources and they're trying to find different funguses to make Kitra white, and Cardassia is looking for planets to take over to expand its empire. All of these different species are have access to this area.
I have another idea for you. What about, hey, emissary, can we borrow that orb of time from you?
Yes.
You let what's her name, Kira, go and screw around with the timeline a couple of weeks ago in her own timeline. How about you let us go save our daughter?
Yes.
Because we didn't think of that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, let's go to Benjamin Sisko and we'll be like, look, I have some personal stuff to work out. Instead, Starfleet is going to seize control of this child and put her in a mental institution. What? Also, Bruce from Dick's Division is here.
Hey, Bruce, what's up, buddy? Hello, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Hello, Bruce.
So
yeah,
I don't buy the fact that Galana is completely, no one's ever been there in 300 years. When we're talking about spacefaring species in a very busy sector of space,
none of it makes sense.
None of it makes sense. She would not lose her linguistic ability. She would have probably deeply emotional issues. It's 10 years. And she's not 8, she's 6, and she's in late childhood, according to child psychology. Officially, that is the practice and discipline of modern psychology, medicine in our age.
Yes.
And studies say that at her age, she would have a fully formed personality. So she wouldn't be grunting and looking for loopy. Right. She would have matured, and she would also have full ability to communicate. And no parent would ever abandon their kids. I would move to Galana. Let's say that we accept all this crap. I'm going to Galana with my baby.
You bring us as much as you can get to that portal thing, some tools, some things to use with it, and the two parents go and stay with. If they again, the whole thing's so dumb they should never bring her back. They should do it the right way. But and there's no way I'm going to leave her by her. That's the worst part. They're not even didn't even write it to where they had to make a decision, and they did. They just said, we're going to stay here and be fine with our own comfy lives. We'll just let our daughter just go play around on the planet by herself. I can't even deal with how unbelievably moronic this episode is. Let's let everybody else deal with it, unless you're done with your notes.
I'm done with my notes because this is an F. This is an F with so much inner rage that like this show is going to give me high blood pressure. I am deploying multiple shin kicks. I want everyone's agonizer. I want to put everyone through the Klingon rite of ascension. I want extra probing with the Klingon pain sticks in various orifices. This is awful. It is complete and utter shite.
I think you're being a little kind to it, to me personally, because I give it an F plus minus minus plus 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 minus F minus minus minus. It might be. I don't know. I haven't thought of this yet, but it may be my most hated episode yet, or one of them. So now I will ask all of my dear friends in the chat, and don't listen to us. If you loved it, great, fine. All opinions are welcome, as you know. Please put any rating you may have of this episode, Timey Wimey's Orphan, and our Orifice, or whatever. And any review you may have. And number one will star those, and I'll start out getting to some of these. Let's see here. SC Barnabas says C. Thank you. JT Kirk has a super chat. He says, theory. Thank you for that, by the way, JT Kirk. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, Molly survived for a decade on picnic baskets people left. She was never taken back because she wanted to be away from Keiko that badly. I like it. That I can accept. That would make it a great episode. Mark D says something about we didn't want to alarm the actors and cause a bigger problem. Did I start that or did you? There were two small children and didn't want to freak them out. Did you start that or did I?
I did because it was from the companion, so I thought
but
it would be.
But he's got a bunch of companion stuff up there. But
yeah,
okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm be sorry. What's wrong with you? They should be sorry for making this episode. That's who should be sorry. The wonderful Princess Fiona says F minus this. Keiko is enough for an F. You love some Keiko, don't you? I mean, I don't know, man. That almost. No, I'm not going to do it. I was almost going to do it. But I can't even begin to go over all that is wrong with this ep. It's not worth it. None of the characters acted consistently or even human. Total lazy writer failure. Thank you so much, Fiona. Right there with you. Love seeing you here. Thank you. The great Mr. Angel, the chef, says in for no, god darn Mowgli in space. He means Jungle Book with a lame time paradox twist. Sigh. Is that Kipling I hear rolling in his grave? And what the hell was that side plot? Oh, my eyes. Oh, hey, Mr. Angel, right there with you, buddy. Garbaggio. The great Kal-El says F minus. With the exception of Trials and Tribulations, every episode of this series that attempts to tell a time travel story fails miserably, and this one is no exception. I suppose whomever... Hang on a sec. Left the time portal behind, just happened to forget to turn it off. Why didn't O'Brien scan the surrounding area with a tricorder before letting Molly wander off to play? Good. That's a good one. Hey, well done. Well done. Also, while it's... Hey, Zathras is here. I didn't know Zathras is here.
Crap. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking. Welcome, Zath!
Hey, buddy. It says... with the tricorder before the sun, that's letting Molly wander off. There. Thank you, sir. A good idea. Also, while it's this next one, finding your next one, buddy. There we go. While it's somewhat plausible that Molly might be too fearful to speak after being isolated for years, it's extremely unlikely that she would lose the language skills that she already has. And lastly, The events of this entire episode would have been negated once young Molly was sent back through the portal by older Molly, leaving older Molly to exist and simultaneously not exist. There's a lot of that going around these days.
Oh no, don't do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. I'd honestly prefer more Dominion War episodes over the rom-coms we've had to suffer through recently, as well as time travel episodes like this. It does seem to be a lot of rom-coms and stupid time travel trash lately, does it not? Yeah, I think you're right there, buddy. It's starting to seem
It's
that
a
way.
pattern. It's a pattern of suck.
By the way, our wonderful friend Katie gives it an F as well, and that's rare. She's very kind and generous, and when she gives an F, she must really hate an episode because she is very stern, but very fair, and she's just such a wonderful, loving young lady, and I really respect that, Katie, because I know it's not easy for you to give an F because you really love the show, but it's very honest of her, so good job. Scuba Pete says F minus. Reunited. This episode sucks so good. Reunited. Older Molly was just misunderstood. Well, you and your lyrics, man. You need to consult with Max Redstone, buddy. No, Clobby, I love the Pertwee Doctor Who reference. Oh, thanks. A plus. I love. John Pertwee's a great doctor. Cool.
Everyone in the chat is talking about how Molly needed a Wilson, but she got sent back with her loopy.
Wilson.
But instead of it being loopy, she was just a little too loopy. Anyway,
yep, she did need a Wilson.
A little homophone action there for you folks at home.
Little Castaway reference there. Zathras says A plus. I love this episode. I think O'Brien was going to push Keiko into the time warp, but chickened out at the last minute. But then again, I don't have kids. Seriously, B5 is better. Is better than DS9. Well, of course it is. It really is. And I've been watching a lot of it again recently. Babylon 5, in my opinion, is far superior. The wonderful Lisa says F. She's like 4. She's the Fantastic Four tonight because I think all of her reviews have been Fs.
Yep.
F. Molly, so happy on that planet that she became a wild mute that forgot her dad. Of course, she was happy to be away from Keiko. You happy now, Keiko haters? Go. Anyway, forgetting Keiko for sure. Oh, people don't like this. You ladies, you ladies do not like Keiko. Federation wants to lock her up. Up. Parents want to give her up. Bad. And by the way, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, mothers out there everywhere.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, indeed. Joseph Dredd
Wolfie just said a Horgon named Wilson.
Horgon, perfect. F. Joseph Dredd says F. And who is he to judge? He is the judge himself. Simply Steve says rating T for terrible. Time trouble trope. Time for Molly to disappear. Time for the O'Briens to be bad parents. Time for audience punishment. Writers had too much time on their hands. Time to nap. Yes, sir. Well done, Steve-O. Well done, buddy. The Jay Picasso says red face, red dope, droopy eyes. So I don't know if that's a review, but it's a
it's
emoji.
A part of his
it's an emoji
reaction.
that I can't see it because it's yeah. Our wonderful communications officer Jill says F. Worf taking on the challenge of babysitting Yoshi and succeeding is the best part, but even that is tainted with the fact that the writers completely abandoned his relationship with Alexander. Yeah. Well, they're also the writers that aged Alexander up like idiots. So no holodeck available. Cisco would have commandeered one from Quark, and then Miles and Keiko would actually have to face the responsibility of raising Molly and older Molly. That's another point I didn't think about. That's true. There's no way Quark gets away with that crap. With what's going on, Cisco would have said, yeah, they're going to use it and get out of here, Quark.
Well, since he doesn't pay any rent.
He's pushed Quark around before.
Yeah, because Quark doesn't pay any rent.
Exactly. He would say, look, you're going to do what you're told. Shut up. Instead, they decide it's best to just abandon their child. Okay, really? Just because it's what older Molly wants doesn't mean she would do better with a holodeck therapy and education. Exactly. How does she know what she wants? She's only chronologically 18 and has not been raised and has not been around people for so long. She's not capable of making those decisions. This is absolutely absurd. Enigmatic Drop Bear says F. The mystery in Peter Weir's masterpiece, Picnic at Hanging Rock, is solved. Joe Manoski reveals the girls were transported back in time. Australians rejoice. The news can finally rest easy. Sorry about that. I butchered that for you, buddy. I apologize. This story is an almost bottomless well of stupid. The anthropological, the familial, the temporal, the premise. It's all nonsensical. It's all Joe Manoski.
I love you, Ed.
Oh, that was 2 of those. Okay, I thought we had 3.
I love you
ED?
so much.
Yeah, buddy.
Well
Fantastic.
said. Drop the mic on that one, Drop Bear.
Jacob Picasso gave it. I gave a Q. Is Q a rating? It is if you want to give it that. If it's low enough or high enough, for that matter, whatever you want to do, my friend, you're allowed. We don't force anybody to do anything up.
Cuz is here.
Is he?
Cuz.
Hey, Ray boy, my cousin. What's up, brother? All right, man. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? Chris, the great Chris Persia, Indicator Inch of the North, says F. Disregarding the wibbly wobbly timey wimey, the episode of the idea of Starfleet removing a traumatized child from their parents to place them in an institution does not sound progressive, and I think it. I think they made it sound like an institution. It just means that they were going to help her, but yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's just weird. To have Miles say the best option is to place Molly on an uninhabited planet to live out the rest of her life alone is terrible parenting. It's atrocious. Right? Yeah, it's horrific. How do any of these actors, who I'm sure had children, I mean, I wonder if any of them said, like Colin Meaney, who I'm sure had kids. I don't know. Maybe he did. Or maybe the lady who plays Keiko or whomever might go, wait a minute. So what you're saying is you want me to speak these lines that are telling me that I'm going to leave my 18-year-old child who's been alone for 10 years already, even though she shouldn't be 18, and has been isolated on the planet, uninhabited. So I'm going to go abandon her for the rest of her days with no one. And I'm just going to leave her. I don't give a crap. Do you really think a parent would do this?
No.
Maybe a Hollywood idiot would. Why couldn't Miles try again, using the time tunnel to rescue little Molly? And by sheer luck, the timeline fixes itself, and they get little Molly back. This is not Jean's vision. By the way, They don't know it. They live the rest of their lives thinking that Molly's back on that planet. Just so you know. Because little Molly, I don't know what she told him. She walked out. Remember, she didn't see the older Molly disappear, right? So they, to their mind, they stuck her back in the past like that. Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
It's just so incredibly stupid. But I totally agree with Chris because, Gene Roddenberry and TOS made it very clear in multiple episodes that there would be full rehabilitation for anyone with any type of emotional or intellectual problems, and that it would be done with loving care and to a miraculous degree. So this is so alien in concept and so diametric to what we're used to in Star Trek that it beggars belief. I'm just incredulous. I don't know how this was allowed, but it's a part of DS9, and it's just incredibly stupid. Does it pass the Kirk test? No, it fails the Kirk test. Oh, Rod Thunderheart's here.
Hey, Rod Thunderheart. I think, did I leave this one out? Why couldn't Miles try again using the time tunnel to rescue Molly? Oh, okay. And by sheer luck, the timeline fixes itself and they get little Molly back. This is not Gene's vision.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to finish that one. So, or at least I feel like I did anyway. Who'd you say? Rod Thunderheart. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. Where were I? Hang on. All right, let me get back to where I was. Sorry about that.
J.T. Kirk wanted you to know that Colm had a daughter by the time this episode aired, and that Rosalind Chow had a son and a daughter. So these are people with kids.
I mean, I've never seen them interviewed about the episode. Don't know if they'd. I mean, this is like bazillion years later for them. They probably don't care. It was a job, but I don't know. Wolfie says rating F. Why scan for weird crap at picnic coordinates? Good point. Why wouldn't they pick up a chronoton rating of some sort? I know my Technobabble is only like fair, but I'm thinking you scan a planet like that, and again, knowing from what I know of Star Trek, if there's something giving off chrono radiation like that, or chronoton radiation, I believe it was referred to many times. I think you detect a time portal. Am I wrong? Am I crazy for that?
Yes.
They would. They know how to read for such things, and they would go investigate it. How do they not know that stupid thing's there?
Yeah.
So it's just so bad. Weird crap. Yeah, exactly. It was so nice of someone to cut the grass around the time portal and even do some edging.
That's just it, Wolfie.
Nice.
You think like I do. Like, it's so obvious that Galana is like, lots of people go there, and you would think that lots of people have always gone there, right? It's not like Cardassia just happened when DS9 came along.
Yes.
Like, Cardassia's existed for thousands of years, and we're even asked to enter into a conversation through several episodes over the fact that just how long they've been a spacefaring race, and just how like imperial empire building they are. So it's so dumb. Galana, I can't talk about it. I'm gonna fall down the rabbit hole.
Did the Guardians Forever just leave it there by accident? Oh, where are all our damn portals? We just need to leave them all over the place. Oh, it's like a baby Guardian of Forever that just got left. Much like Molly, a baby Guardian of Forever got abandoned on this planet. JT
Don't go
Kirk.
making it into something that would be an interesting script you could write. Stop that. We must continue with the hate.
Well, I mean, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, or the Forever in this case. The Galaxy now, forever. Not even the Galaxy, not even the universe. Guardians of the Universe, of course, they handle the Green Lanterns. The Galaxy, we know what they do.
Yeah.
But the Guardian of Forever apparently abandons its children. Okay. Anyway, JT Kirk says FEE99. Okay, good one. This giant turd feels out of place. This feels like a season 3 reject script they found when the office filing cabinet was moved. Was moved. That's probably what happened. I'm sure if you check the companion, it probably talks about how they found that. Why do or even a TNG like a TNG episode they rejected. Why do we never hear about Planet Bellana before? Why or after? Well, we know the answer to that, dude. They don't really care about continuity that much on any of these shows.
Dr. Coffin Nails, good evening.
Really? Hey, Dr. Coffin Nails, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Let's see. Where am I? All right. Okay. Jonah Hex says F. And I don't blame you. Thank you. Shooter says D. Okay, we have Keiko and time travel, so not great, but hey, Chester's there, so It's not all bad. Chester,
the cat.
Oh, like I was gonna remember the damn cat's name.
Well, I do, but
I'm
anyway,
a dog person. No, I do remember Chester now. Sorry. Yeah. And yes, Chester gave a rousing performance, which is great.
He did.
And so the time travel isn't that bad. Not great, but we certainly have had worse. And a B story.
B story's terrible.
The actual trying to integrate a primitive girl back into society aspect works, but did it need to be a Molly and time travel? The ending sucked, as Clobby put it. What were the O'Briens thinking? They were collecting a paycheck, buddy. Yeah. And why is zero explanation of the time? And why zero? I think he means why zero explanation of the time portal. Because these writers are idiots. Where did it come from? Why is it there? Are time portals such a common occurrence that nobody wants to explore? I'm telling you, the Guardian of Forever kicked it out of the house because it was sitting around playing video games, not doing anything, not doing its homework.
Cigarettes.
Smoking, yeah.
That kid.
Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. and then boom.
Lemon pie, welcome. So good to
Hey,
see you.
Lemon
Everyone,
Pie.
wave hello to Lemon Pie.
All right, always good to see you, Lemon Pie. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, so where are we?
Yes, Joseph Dredd, it is the Orion Syndicate cat.
Yes.
The guilt.
Oh,
the guilt. It's the guilt cat.
Yeah, that's the guilt cat. That's right, from Orion Syndicate. Cat. Yeah. The AI show says it gets a D. Sounds like Charles Dickens and time travel meet a Star Trek creating bleak planet. Indeedishness. And Dave Rayboard says, I love butchering. I do too, because I want a steak now. Bruce Lombardo says, I'm loving this review bombing run. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Barnabas now has a SC Barnabas a D minus. Did you change yours? I thought you did one earlier. Okay, that's good. That's cool. All right. So Fandy outside, he says, Exhibit A. In the case of the people versus Keiko, what a terrible mother. Wouldn't charges get pressed for willing child abandonment? Seems like the writers caught the Howie Mandel movie. Let me find a second one there, but you always put those numbers in weird places, boy. Walk Like a Man or saw Lucan years. Lucan, dude, don't give that obscure reference. Lucan lasted like 6 episodes in the 80s. No one remembers it, but well, you and me apparently. Wow, Lucan, are you out? Anyone else in the chat knows what Lucan is? Gets a no prize. And if you don't know what a no prize is, I can't help you because you didn't read Marvel Comics. In both, the grown child was eventually able to reintegrate into society. It's amazing with something as interesting as a war going on. We've had these. I can't believe you mentioned Lucan. I'm glad you did. It's just weird. It's cool though, and it fits. It's it works. Let's see here. 4 offerings of suck. 4 offerings of suck. The episode is an F. If they'd if they'd been successful, imagine the inquest. So you decided to release your kid into the wild, and Worf and Dax adopt Yoshi, and Keiko was never seen again. Fanty. The AI show says the Guardians of Forever were replaced by the Guardians of whatever. I like it. AI show.
It's
Our new
good.
friend, new to the show, new to the chat, and that was top-notch stuff, buddy. Appreciate you. No problem, Clobby. I love your reviews and the fact that everyone seems to feel the same. Well, I don't know. They don't like my reviews. They like Raquel's reviews. But thank you, buddy. And Bruce says, it's a lovely community. Well,
thank you.
Thank
Bruce.
you. Thank you. And we're glad to have you, brother. Appreciate you. Mark D with a C says A+++. I love this episode. It's better than Sitting on the Edge Forever. It's better than the Doomsday Machine. It's the greatest episode. It's such a great episode. They should burn all of the other ones and only keep this one as a representation for Star Trek. It is the most fantastic one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got that backwards. F minus says the chief engineer who could pop in anytime you feel like it, brother.
Come on down.
We're almost done with this.
You're the next contestant on the F is Right.
F minus. This episode has it all. More timey-wimey time travel that I despise. Plenty of Keiko and portraying Molly's parents as the worst in the universe. The block text claims that the writers.
The writers what?
What writers? There were no writers. Interviewed psychologists who said that some of Molly's behavior in this episode was realistic. However, if they watch Lucan, however, to the viewer, it makes no sense without an explanation that the O'Briens will to send their daughter alone into the past with a bag of stuff is so terrible that this episode should be erased from all realities and timelines. Not one to watch on Mother's Day. But
I don't believe
you're right.
For a red hot second that these people introduced or interviewed any psychologists about this episode. Yeah. I call BS.
The quote you read before referenced the rattlesnake moving towards the actor's set. Okay, I was wondering why I didn't say that, but you didn't get the first part of it or whatever. So, are we done with this?
We're done for the night.
I forgot the banner earlier, so I was like, I didn't care enough to put the damn banner on there. Spoiler alert. No, it comes pre-spoiled, folks. So are we done with this turkey?
Oh, Darth CPO is here.
All right.
Hey, Darth.
CPO. Hello there.
How's it going?
What's up,
Haven't seen
Darthy?
you in forever.
All right, Darth CP. What's up, man? I hope you're having a good night. All right. Okay, so, well. I guess we're done with this horse hockey.
Thank goodness. Oh, and you got a gift from Mr. Coffin or Dr. Coffindales.
All right. Well, there you go. 2 more episodes next week's, by the way, folks, because it's the end of the season. So we will review the last 2 of the season, and then we will do our top 5. Yeah, right. Good luck finding 5 great ones on this one. And then bottom 5 episodes. It's a challenge, I know, to find 5 that you like. And you might want to have a bottom 10, but I'm sorry, this season was rough. But we'll finish up season 6 next weekend for better or worse.
Cuz is saying happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Thank you so much, Cuz.
Thank you. Dr. Cofferdales, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. He says, about 3 seasons of the DS9, I find the Bajorans to be super annoying. Them and their damn prophecies and soap opera politics. Cardassians are better, but they're total scum, but they're better. They're more interesting. I'll give you that. Season F for Simply Steve. Yeah, thank you. Season F. Good one, bud.
No.
Thank you, Shooter. He said, won't be here next week. I got a work function. See you in 14 days. Well, you know what, Shooter? If you feel like emailing me your reviews, if you don't have to, of course, but if you do, feel free. You know my email is in my description below or whatever. And if you just make sure I get it or send me some kind of way, you could DM me on Twitter if you're following. I don't know if you follow Twitter. And I would be honored to read your review if you want to. There's no biggie, no pressure. But if you feel like that, brother, because you're a very big, important part of this show. We all love you, man, and you're part of the family here.
You're gonna be
if you would like that, and we'll miss you, but it'll be great to see you back here next week, man.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew pew indeed.
We love you, Shoot.
And so Chief Engineer, feel free to hang if you want to pop in before we get out of here, because we have some bonus time. We have some pictures from our great friend
who
said
Wolfie? JT Kirk?
Wolfie has some pictures for us as
great, as
he is often want to do. So let me see if I can put those up here. Let me see. Give me a second. Now I should have had them ready. Didn't think about it again. I almost forgot them. Hey, my dear.
Fugman 4.
I like that. What a name there. Fugman 4. What is up? It's good to have you pop in. Thank you for stopping by. All right, let's see what we have. We don't always Jill makes a good point. We don't always review similarly. Many times our reviews are all over the range. It's just that these episodes are just that bad. Bruce Lombardo, yeah, look, that's true. It's a good point to make, Jill, because we have some times where some of us will just, like Raquel and I and others, might hate an episode, and then a few of our friends will come in and love it, give it an A. That happens a lot. This time maybe not as much, but it happens. So,
well, thank you, Barnabas. Barnabas is saying Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in the chat.
Okie dokie. Well, and again, well, yes, indeed. We don't know if Mark can make it or not, but if you can do, hey, look, it's never a big deal. We understand you're out there on the road.
Engineers, they love to change things.
Engineers. But don't worry about that. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, picture. Like I say, only if you feel like it, bro. And you're able to make it. So there's never any pressure, brother. Let's see. Okie dokie. Where's these pictures? All right. That was one we did before. All right. All right. Let me make sure. No, that one.
Should I do some picture?
No. We're good. No, we're good. We got them now.
Okay.
We got a few pictures courtesy of the great Wolfie, our Starship chronicler, our man who knows. Yeah, he knows the Starship business there, and he always sends us some cool stuff from the episode Valiant. This is the Shimmadar battleship. And Wolfie, if you're still here, if you're still with us, brother, thank you for these pictures. This is a nice shot of it because in the episode you don't get to see it as much. Wolfie knows his Trek ships. There's probably other ships too, but he is a ship master. He's our ship master extraordinaire.
Yeah, he's our expert. He's our SME, our subject matter expert.
Indeedishness on this, yeah. So this again, there's your top view. That's a pretty badass looking ship there. The one that wiped out the stupid Valiant. Interesting ship for sure. From Star Trek magazine. And let's see what else he sent another one on. Saturday Night Star Trek new ship size chart. Thank you so much. We got a Shimmadar battle cruiser. Look, it's about the size of a galaxy. Yes, it's the size of a Galaxy class starship, as you can see. So that's pretty cool, man. That is so cool of you, Wolfie. He says this new giant battleship is a CGI model, by the way. He says this, so there was CGI. The battleship was. So yeah, love that. He says I love that ship. Too bad they don't do it much. We always get the coolest ship information from Wolfie. It's amazing.
I have a question for Wolfie. I feel weird about the whole Valiant storyline because the Defiant was supposed to be a one-off. It was supposed to be like this top secret thing that they were developing, right. And then all of a sudden, just the Valiant appears. But another thing bothers me. I feel weird when they call the Valiant a starship. And I would, being a nerd, I would like to know the exact definition of a starship because it would seem to me that the Defiant wouldn't be a starship by the accumulative connotation of that particular label. It would have some type of other classification. It's a warship, right? It's an attack ship. I wouldn't call it a starship. I thought that was weird. So first of all, the Valiant shouldn't exist if we go by the canon, and that's a single canon, CANON, of the Defiant story. And then I don't like calling it a starship. I don't think that that's what that is. Isn't that a warship? It's not a starship.
Not really. Yeah, not
really. No,
it's not.
It's not. Yeah, it's only used for. It's supposed to be used in stealth and strike, right? That's why it has cloak, which is something Gene Roddenberry would have never have allowed. The Federation goes into any type of battle or war in plain sight because he felt that using a cloak would make you a coward or would make you a bit of a villain, and he didn't want that for Starfleet. But I just think that it's weird that they called the Defiant a starship in this episode, in this colossally sucky episode, despite the fact that they previously call it like a warship and make it like a strike ship that you're not even supposed to see. So it's weird. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I see what you're saying there, but it's not a Federation starship per se like that anyway. But
yeah, right.
I got you covered. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow, what a! I'm not sure. I don't think the chief engineer's at a place where he can make it tonight. That's cool. Shout out to the great Mark D with the C for all the help, and of course him giving his reviews. Drew, though, if you can't make tonight, don't worry about it. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night on the Geekery if you're going to be doing that. So. Let us know if you're going to be doing the Geekery tomorrow night, of course. I think he is. What?
SP4H says the Defiant class was designed to escort larger starships into combat. This is what I'm talking about.
It's a warship,
you know what I mean? Sure. Like I'm hanging around with all these military guys now, and I'm starting to see sort of like patterns in how military folks do things, and it seems like that was another thing they got wrong in this episode, because Valiant shouldn't exist, and calling it a starship seems quite silly considering the fact that this was supposed to be like a war like a war weapon, not even a starship. This is a war weapon.
They didn't even the Valiant doesn't even come with a cloaking device. Remember, the Romulans gave it to them, allowed them to use, as long as they didn't use it in the Alpha Quadrant.
for the Defiant.
For the Defiant, yeah.
And yet the Valiant is sitting there in cloak behind that new Dominion.
Right. I guess they gave him one for that too. But why would you give that? I don't know. Yeah,
See
you're
what
right.
I mean? Like it wasn't just that the writers didn't just fail in that episode.
They didn't care.
Regularly. They failed epically, because if you really start to like take your time with it and you go super deep dive Trekkie and you have a super deep dive Trekkie talk about it and you go full on academic, there are a lot of problems with that episode. Like the dialogue is not good. It's not good.
A lot of problems. Well,
Yeah.
what you gonna do? But at least we got them reviewed. Now we got. Again, next week's gonna be. Look, it's gonna be the last two, and then picking your best and worst of the season.
It's that's gonna be just horrible.
Rough.
Like Simply Steve was saying earlier, it's it's season F.
Oh, Clobby says. Wolfie says. I need to go review the DS9 technical manual again, but I think they even referred to the runabout type ships as a starship. Not sure about the Defiant. Yeah, I think they're probably just using the term loosely, probably, I would say.
They are, and I don't think it should be, because look at SP4H. I like this follow-up comment. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The Defiant was granted special dispensation to have the Romulan cloaking, like Clobby was saying earlier. We all know this as Trekkies. And they had to amend a treaty to make
Treaty
that
of
happen.
yeah.
So, like, what happened with Valiant? And for the Valiant to be sitting in cloak, following around a Dominion ship is weird. It's weird.
Yes, I hear you, Katie. You, of course, invited the change of heart of my favorites. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Katie. She's gonna be very sad next week for her. That well, we all know what happens. End of season 6, and then, man, oh man. We'll get through it, Katie, together. We'll get through this, even though it's a rerun. You probably watched a bunch of times. So,
Wolfie, it's implied. It's implied, Wolfie, because they're sitting hidden, following around this hyper technical new warship made by the Dominion. And so they're following along, and they can't be seen by them, and they're running all of these tests to sort of figure out what the weakness of this ship is to try and attack it. And obviously they wind up failing miserably, because the weakness that they identified isn't a weakness at all. But that's how they're able to stay at the heel of the ship and not be identified and just instantly destroyed. So it's fully implied. But yeah, I'd like to know how all of this happened with the Valiant. It's just so, but don't go too far into it. Like Trekkies normally do, by making up things in your head canon. It's okay to simply say that the writers crapped the bed. The writers just had a giant diarrhea fest in their own bed, because that's what happened here. You don't have to do any kind of mental gymnastics for me. I'm just saying that if we really took our time scene by scene and took these things apart, that one was a whole lot more suck than we let on.
Yikes, sucktastic. Well, what are you going to do? What you going to do here? Katie's watched it bazillions of times there. You go, millionth rewatch there. Bless your heart. I hear you there. So, yeah, you're getting to your favorite season, not right? And, I love her too. And no matter what else the show is, I love Jadzia too. Or I don't know. At least sometimes. Maybe not like Quark, but Quark nuts. I don't know. Or maybe I do. Maybe I have a crush on her. I don't know. So anyway, well, I guess we could start on moseying out of here, letting people get out of here at a decent hour. What do you think? We've put them through enough. We put them through 4 collective Fs. In other words, some people didn't give them an F. I think I had 3 Fs and a D last week and this week.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the worst Fs the past couple of weeks.
I think I was D, so triple D.
D
and
plus
then an F.
Jill's like D plus in the Fantastic Four F. I got 3 Fs, folks. A couple F minus, E minus, E plus, E minus, E whatevers, and this weekend, last week. I mean, it's awful. And I don't look everyone. And here's the thing about this: I've many times when I actually went back and watched all of this show, and it's worth noting again. When the past few years, within the past eight years, whatever, I've really liked it, and I've really liked it, but now, well, it's sort of am I reevaluating? Yeah, it's all you can definitely. I was going to blame number one, but we can blame Mark because he's the chief engineer and that's his job.
Yeah, and I've been doing this for years. But
so yeah,
I've been doing this for years, watching in chronological order. I start on January 1st. And I go through the whole thing, the good, the bad, the ugly. I always have. But I find it very comforting. I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing it. I get a little ragey sometimes, but
we've never done it like this before, though.
Who, you?
I mean, as far as watching them four at a time and then and talking about them in front of people.
Yeah, but I did try before. But the people lie so much on Facebook and Twitter and social media. Like people lie and manipulate and also pretend like they know more than they actually do. And so you wind up having empty conversations. Have I always wanted to speak directly about the 735 to everyone? Yes. But unfortunately, you get into these conversations with these people who have like their 5 favorite episodes of TOS, their 5 favorite episodes of TNG, their 5 favorite episodes of DS9, their 5 favorite episodes of Voyager, and that's all they want to talk about. And so they make it seem like it's the greatest Star Trek ever and it has no flaws. But if you watch it through like I do, in chronological order, every single year, these things emerge and it's okay to talk about them. But have I tried to do this before on social media prior to meeting you? And did I get shot down in flames? Absolutely. One time I actually had someone tell me that Uhura was a linguist and that she studied linguistics. Somebody actually said that to me and then called me a stupid bitch. Somebody actually believed that Uhura was a linguist, that she studied linguistics.
Okay. Wow.
So obviously never read Gene Roddenberry's Bible, never read the TOS Bible, never knew anything about Uhura. But did I get called a stupid bitch? Absolutely. So did I give up?
Those idiots out, jackass idiots out there.
When the filth came out, I had to leave Facebook. It was that bad. Because people were just talking out of their buttholes and making it seem like they understood Star Trek, and they didn't. But if you deep dive Star Trek, it's not exactly what people think it is. And I hope, it is my hope, my personal hope, and this has nothing to do with Clobby or Mark or anyone in the 735 Club, anyone on CLOBBERIN Times at all. And that is that you will very quickly learn something that I've been trying to show people since Ent came out. And that is that TOS is beautiful and perfect. And then, well, almost perfect. It has its flaws too. And then the quality is centrifugal. Okay. Until you reach Ent. And then Ent is so good. It's like you go right back to the TOS style of telling stories and you go back to having a good time again.
Agreed.
And so I hope that journey will reveal that, this journey that and how we're doing it will reveal that to people. I've always wanted that. And maybe making them actually watch the SHIT that they say that they've watched, but they haven't actually watched will make a difference.
Well, the chief engineer's here.
Yay!
I think. Here it is.
He's here, but he's not here.
While we're waiting on that, I want to say something to Katie. Katie says, once you get the Voyager, you'll be hearing my praises from season 1 through 7. Would love to share my in-depth reviews with you all with you all then. Sorry, Katie, I'm counting on that. I hope you will. And look, I hope that you will come hang out with us. I mean, you don't have to come on the show. I know you're more than welcome to come visit with us on the show from time to time, of course. But even if you won't, I want you to have some fun with us and come on the show and hang out with us for sure. You're muted, Mark, by the way.
Oh, how's that now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
we got you. And so, Katie, I would love that. And let me get a couple more here real quick. Katie said, I've been called every single name in the book. Well, screw. I would like to punch those jerk offs that do that, Katie. That's terrible. She says, Twitter bullies tried to run me off, but I came back. I'm glad you did, Katie. To hell with them. Don't let anybody push you around.
Who could be mean to Katie?
Oh, she would love to come on. Well, absolutely. Look, hey, you are the Voyager queen. That's right. Now, even if I hate an episode, I will be less mean to it if you were there. No, Raquel won't. She'll be mean to it. But with you there, I can't be as mean to it, Katie. But even if I hate an episode, anyway, no. But look, we would love to have you hang with us. When you want to review it here, and we'll definitely have you on because again, nobody loves Voyager more than you. And again, I love your enthusiasm and passion for that show. So what's up, dude? You're in a remote location.
Yeah, we went to Grammys for Mother's Day to celebrate Mother's Day. So just wanted to say hi real quick. And we had fun again, despite, I think what was the average rating of that episode? A D- or F+?
I guess maybe the average, but mine is FDFF.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So, and some of you guys talked about it enough, but just that last one with the O'Briens, it's just so infuriating. It's just, even if there's some things wrong about an episode you don't like, but it just to send your kid to the past and leave him behind. What writer thought that was a good idea? Shin kicks.
Garbaggio. Yep. Well, shall we start the mosey? I guess because again
before we do that, I just want to read from page 14 of Gene Roddenberry's Bible because I made a statement and now I would like to back up what I said so I don't make a fool out of myself.
Preach it.
So this is Gene Roddenberry's Bible. According to Gene Roddenberry, Lieutenant Uhura was fourth in charge. He got into a huge fight with the network people over this particular issue. I've argued about it with people in public before, and they don't get it. But Uhura was an astronaut who was a communications engineer. And here you will find out that she is not a linguistics person. Lieutenant, this is Gene Roddenberry's Bible, page 14. Lieutenant Uhura, communications officer, played by the attractive young actress Nichelle Nichols, who he was sleeping with at the time. Uhura was born in the United States of Africa. She is quick and intelligent. She is a highly efficient officer and an expert in all ship's systems relating to communications. You will recall that Mr. Spock says that her rewiring the ship's communications on the bridge, that there was no one better at it than she was. Uhura is also warm and highly female off-duty. Although there's a typo in this, highly female off-duty. She is something of a favorite in the recreation room, which was the first holodeck, during off-duty hours too, because she sings old ballads as well as the newer space ballads, and she can do an impersonation at the drop of a communicator. So I just wanted everyone to realize that she's fourth in charge. She is department head of communications, and that she is a communications engineer rewiring the communications boards on the ship, and that there's no one more qualified. So she's not a linguistics expert.
Yeah, good point, Lisa. The filthy Jar Jar Abrams trash made her a linguist.
That is correct.
That is not the real deal, Uhura.
And in so doing, demoted her. Because she's a department head, fourth in charge on the ship.
That's not Star Trek. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not
garbage.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm not a stupid bitch after all. Well, I guess maybe I am a stupid bitch, just not over that particular issue. So thank you, everyone.
But I'm proud of it. So, The great JT Kirk, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, my wife wants to do a Star Trek marching band show at her high school next year. Only 923 music, only 923 music is available. Should she do the show if it's the filth? Oh, okay. Look, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't, but I mean, I'm a nut job if don't look at me, but no one will care because the filth has this. It doesn't have any distinguishable music anyway, other than that theme for the like the first stupid Jar Jar Abrams trash movies. For the most part, they redo Jerry Goldsmith stuff, like on P Hard and all that other stuff. And so, and I mean, I doubt anyone can even tell you the Discovery theme because there isn't one. And P Hard just regurgitated Jerry Goldsmith stuff. So, and only the Michael Giacchino theme from those crappy Jar Jar Abrams trash non-Trek movies. So I don't know if it'll be that big of a deal for you, but take a look at it and see. Chances are, when it comes to Trek music, other than the Giancarlo stuff, which I went to the 50th anniversary concert of celebrating Star Trek music, and I told the lady friend who got me the tickets when she brought me there, and they were going to have like the big band up there playing it, and they were going to have visuals up there accompanying the music, and I said, look, they're going to use filthy Jar Jar Abrams trash music in scenes, and when they do, I can't promise I'm going to behave myself. She laughed at me, but when that stuff came on the screen, I yelled. But 90% of it, occasionally they would put stupid bits, with these idiot, the crappy characters or the crappy shots of the Jar Jar Abrams trash. This was before there was any other TV shows, and I yelled. I got upset with it, but for the most part, almost 90% of it was real Trek music. They did have the Michael Giacchino crap, but for the most part, real deal Trek. So, what are you gonna do? Katie says, I'm in season 7 of both DS9, 7 of 9, weird. Okay, and Voyager right now on my rewatches for my birthday. My mother got me the Star Trek Bible pre-2005. Greatness, the true canon connections. That is incredible. Nice. So there you go. JT said, I told her if it's filth music, I love her, I'll go, but I'm putting the earplugs in if I have to hear any filth music. It's good.
Hard.
There's not much filth music though, because like I said, other than those stupid movie themes, the movie theme, which is okay music because the guy's a good music, but it's just not real Trek. But for the most part, all you ever get from that crap is regurgitated Jerry Goldsmith stuff when they do it at all. They don't hardly have any music anyway on that new trash. It's so generic. It's just P Hard that did a little bit of that, Goldsmith stuff. So, anyway, well, why don't we start? Unless either one of you got anything else, we'll start moseying out of here.
No, I'm good, boss.
Well, in that case,
well, just want to say if we had original Star Trek music is a band playing, that'd be fantastic. So that's a shame that you can't get the original stuff.
You never know. They might get the real stuff. They're probably just looking at some soundtrack that was just made. It'll have all like Goldsmith and Alexander Courage. Let's hope.
Yeah.
But who knows? You never know. But number one, if you have any final words, please go now. And
I do. We do. First
it.
of all, I want to thank everyone who joined us this evening. You were wonderful company. Thank you for your wonderful conversations about Star Trek. I love all of you marvelous Trekkies. You guys make this show great, and I love it when you arrive here with all your great grades and all of your wonderful reviews, and you interact with Clubby and I. We have such a wonderful time with you, and we are so grateful for you. So thank you to each and every one of you who participated this evening, who took the time to write these reviews and to interact with others and build this community into what it is. I love each and every one of you for doing that. That is a very special thing. 735ers, clobberers, I adore you. I also want to thank my Patreon subs. I'm writing a new book. I'm 3 stories into a 10-story collection, and there are some people who have stepped forward 17th century, 18th century style to back me. I actually have patrons. It is an incredible thing. And there are 16 of them, and I'll get through them quick, but I love these people. These people are really helping me as an indie author. So, Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K. and Kirby, Enigmatic Dropbear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with the C, Jilly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk and family, Dadman and the Dadman clan, and of course, Lord Thoth and family. Thank you so much for backing my book. I'm going to get straight to work and get that 4th story out as soon as possible. I want to thank all of the wrenches. Thank you for being here tonight and getting information for us and helping people who are in the chat and just making this place that much more special. Eric K is under the weather. If you know Eric K, or you can reach out to him and you're friends with him on Twitter or through other social media, would you do me a favor? Would you send him a nice note that just says, "Hey, thinking of you, how you doing?" And you know, send him a nice note, please. You don't have to pry. You don't have to get into anybody's business or ask them anything. But I just want to send some love his way. Even if you just send him an emoji, it would just make me feel good because I love him. He's not feeling well, and I want him to receive as much love as possible. I want to thank Mark D with the C, who is a great maker, a wonderful friend to Clubby and I. Please follow Mark on YouTube and on Twitter. He's going to have a great show tomorrow night. There'll be lots of hijinks. Make sure you do that. He has a Patreon, all sorts of goodies. Get your butts over there and follow Mark. I also want to thank Clubby. Clubby, I love you very much. Thank you for creating this beautiful community where all of these crazy nerds, geeks, dorks, and normies assemble to talk about what we love. And that is Star Trek. Please follow Sean Carter. He has a great YouTube channel, and the Pete Scuba and Leslie Pete, they have a new YouTube channel. Go follow them as well. And I think that's it. I think I got everyone. I love you all very much, and now I'm going to be quiet. Good night, all. Mwah.
Love you, number one. Thank you so much. Anything you have to say there, Chief Engineer Mark D with a C on remote location?
Thank you, Raquel, for those awesomely kind words as usual. And yes, there will be a Sunday Night Geekery, so we'll look forward to that. Maybe we'll celebrate some really cool moms in genre, sci-fi, and that might be a fun thing to do. I think we did that last year, so maybe we'll talk about some of the cool moms. And Happy Mother's Day to everyone, and hope you all have a great day tomorrow. And shout out to my Patreons, Brian Hepburn and Shooter. So much appreciated, and it's always fun, even though the episodes are clunkers.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you for being here as well, man. I know you got better things to do, and you're way out there, and on a mission. So thanks. Let's see here. Okay, I'll be over there hanging with Mark on the Geekery tomorrow night, and so I really appreciate him being here with us tonight. And so let's see, what do we got next week? Of course, don't forget. 2 more episodes, and then we will wind up the season with our season wrap party of season 6. Let's see. Monday night, I will be at the great J-Man's channel. My good buddy, we're continuing our reviews of all of the appearances of the Legion of Superheroes in order. J-Man and Sean, the great Sean as well, except the Sean, our good buddy. So I'm really enjoying that. That's 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern on J-Man's channel. My channel, I have a link in the description below. Please subscribe to my good buddy, J-Man. And then, of course, later at 9 p.m. Central on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. Mr. Jason Sandberg will be joining me once again to talk about his great crowdfunded comic, Jupiter. And so I'm looking forward to that. Then, of course, the regular shows throughout the week. And then I'm proud to announce that a week from this Monday night, May the 22nd, on 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk, the great Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic, a spiffing bloke, will be joining me. He's to hang out with another fellow comic shop owner to talk some comic shop memories and other stuff. We'll talk a lot of other stuff too. We'll just interview Gary. We'll talk about comics. We'll talk about just geekness. We're going to geek out, and I'm really looking forward to that. I cannot thank him enough. This is a true honor for me, and so I want to thank him. So, and that's pretty much it. Let's say some goodbyes. We'll do our shout outs now. As always, whether they're here or not, the wrenches get the shout out, because we love them and we just thank them for what they do. The great Brian's wrencher himself, Eric K. I don't know if you're listening out there, buddy, but if you are, we love you, man, and we hope you feel better. Take care, man, and just be better and keep in touch. The Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia, D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, Avon lives, long live the Legion, buddy, and the Lady Thoth. The great aforementioned J-Man, my partner in crime on Earth B, and a fellow Legion of Superheroes reviewer, Hungry Boy, Master of the Claboni, Kal-El, Super Wrench Supreme, the great Maddie's Daddy, Wielder of Wrench Mjolnir, and of course, the great Fanty Outsidey. And of course, we didn't see him tonight, but we hope he's okay. The great Max Redstone, our master of the limericks. If you hear this later or whatever, Max, we hope you're okay, buddy. And now, let's say hello to the pupper dog from Ptolemy's Minion. We always love it when we hope you're doing well out there, pupper dog. Now let's see. Let's say our goodbyes. It take a second, everyone, but we'd like to get everyone shouted out. That's the way we roll on Saturday Night Star Trek, and it's just the way we're going to always do it. Of course, the aforementioned crew members, the great Lord Thoth, and Mark D with a C, and also our wonderful anti-derivative Jill. Jill, thank you so much for being here, my dear. Hey, Michael Beacom just popped in. All right, Michael. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Let me write down. I want to write down that we're here, so because I like to write everyone down who shows up. I hope you are well. Let's see. And let's see. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? He said, just got home to hear you sign off. E.T. Oh, I went to see E.T. Okay. Guess Robert McNaughton was terrific. Cool. Well, that's fantastic. I hope you had a great time out there, man. And hello to Cassandra. I met Cassandra. Sorry. We have Sandra and we have a Cassandra around here. All right. So FKHC 2005. Thank you for being here tonight. SC Barnabas, a new friend, and I'm so happy to have you hang with us, SC Barnabas. It's great to meet you, and I hope you will return. Oh, before I continue, lurkers, anyone out there lurking, thank you so much. I don't say it enough. I forget sometimes, but I really, really, really appreciate you lurking and hanging out with us. It's an honor to have you here. And also anyone watching on a rewatch or a download, whatever you want to call it, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would ask anyone out there, if you have not already, please hit like and subscribe, but only if you really want to. It is appreciated. Shooter. All right, buddy. Bush Pan down. Joseph Dredd, the judge. Das Wolfen. King Dolphin TV, Raymond. Let's see, Maddie. Already mentioned him. Simply Steve. My pen's messed up, sorry. Wolfie, thanks again so much to the great Wolfie folks for just always sending stuff with the ships and everything. We really appreciate it. Let's see here. Snail Messiah, my friend, always a pleasure. Thank you. Classic Comics, thank you, CC. The lovely Sherry was here earlier. Love you, Sherry. I hope you're doing well, pretty girl. Edigmatic Drop Bear, thank you so much, Edig. Hey, what you do, buddy? Appreciate you. Do great as always. Blunt Philly Reviews. Thank you. SP4H. Brian Hepburn, my friend. Thank you. The wonderful aforementioned Apollonie's Minion. Let's see here. Sandra Feliciano. Hope you're doing well. Captain James C. Skywalker. The lovely, wonderful Princess Fiona. So lovely to have you here. Thank you. Let's see. The beautiful Lisa. Lovely Lisa. Thank you so much for being here, Lisa. We really appreciate you. John Rupus. All right, my friend. The great J.T. Kirk. Rob Altus, my friend. I hope you're feeling better. Get well soon. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of Ramba Beat, but he plays the maracas. He goes chick, chicky boom, chick, chicky boom. And hello to Leslie. He deserves that song because he always sends his songs at me. D.D. Myers Jr. His name is Junior. We named the dog Indiana. Victor Fontaine, thank you for being here. Keely Chow, hold that tide, boy. Penny, I think Penny had to run, but everyone gets a shout out whether they're here or not. Thank you, Penny. Lovely to see you. Holy Nuck Futz or whatever. I don't know how you say it. It's a complicated thing to say. And a tongue twister, but we appreciate that. DJ Ronnie DJ Ronnie G, my friend. Thank you. Double C was here. The Tetrarch of Apathy cares. X, our new friend X. X, thank you. Mr. Angel, the chef. Linrod, Mighty Orbots, Jonah Hex. All right. Dadman walking at the Dadman clan. Sander Hammerslag. Anonymous. Sean Cutter of the Mars. Monsters Maniac Mexico MMM. I hope you're doing well, my friend. The AI show. Nice new friend. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Jay Picasso. Claude Salang. Good friend. The lovely, beautiful, wonderful Katie. Or as I like to call her, Katie Dax. Dave C. All right. Amigo, good to see you. Of course, the great Andy Masterson was here. All right, man. Good to see you, buddy. Bruce Lombardo. Buddy. Thank you. Thank you kindly for being here. Zathras. B5's better. No question about it. My cousin, the great Dave Rayborn. Rod Thunderheart. You. Dr. Coffin Nails. Good to see you, my friend. Lemon Pie. Hey, Lemon Pie. Darth CPO. Fugman 4. And, of course, the great Michael Become. All right, my friend. And I don't think anybody else popped in. If they did, I'm sorry if I missed them. And thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight. Now, get us out of here with some credits. And I want you all to not only have a wonderful weekend, have a fantastic Mother's Day. Be good to your mothers and be good to any mothers out there. And I hope all you mothers have a just fantastic day with your families.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Mother's Day. Yep.
And from the Clobberers, the Trek Clobbers, happy Mother's Day.
Even
Thank you
Kiko.
so much. Even Keiko. Well, it's not. She tried to strand her children in a pass on the planet, and she doesn't count.
Oh, mothers.
Yes, we should do this for Mother's Day.
Oh,
Right? Good night, everybody.
have had enough of you! It's clobbering time! Clobberanimo! I just love clobbering time!